hope you all take a deep breath, relax your mind, especially after the things that have occurred today by creators that are covering Kiely Rodni and her case. Hey, Just Mike, how are you? Hey, Ringy, Thingy, and all of you, welcome. Thank you for being here. So yeah, I hope everyone is taking time, like I've said many times, just to take a deep breath and focus on, the truth. Focus on finding justice, not focus on yourself, or this really isn't for you guys, I guess. But what I'm saying, if you're covering the story, it should not be about you. It should be about Kiely. It should be about the truth, and it should be about finding the truth and gaining justice for this little girl. That is my one and only goal. And I'd like to see other people, join me. And there are plenty of really great creators that care a lot and are extremely passionate. It's just so sad that some of the top creators in true crime, and then there's people who aren't even true crime creators that are talking about this case, and they're making a spectacle of Kiely, her family, the case itself, and anyone else that gets involved, because it makes us seem as if we don't know what we're talking about. It makes it seem like we're all crazy and this has to be an accident, and that's not the case. We don't know, but all signs point to it not being an accident, right? So I just want you to take a moment and just take a deep breath, relax, and let's get into the show. Okay, let me cut the music. Really like this. I think it's a good option to start the show out, And you can throughout the show. Okay, so here's the statement. Just like that. Am I wrong to believe Sammy's feelings for me? Now, if you were to come out and she's all of this things she has, there you guys are. Is it better now? I hope so. Let me know if you can hear me. These comments, I don't know, it's so weird how far behind StreamYard is from YouTube, because I was watching it on the cell phone as well, and it was moving. I could see your comments a good minute before I could see them on here. I may have to turn off my camera too, but I just wanted to say hello to you guys. All right. I've got a list of questions. I'm also during this show, I want to show you, yes, lady with voice. Thank you, Mike. Juliana, it's good. So you went out and came back. Good now. All right. Thank you. And Justin, whenever you'd like to come up, just come on up. But I've got a list of questions for you guys. I've got some screen grabs of some really, really disgusting, more unprofessional behavior from SF. I have heard about the fight between three of the largest, well, one of them isn't even a crime creator, but he has involved himself, and considering his following and his rich rapper status, he gets views, right? We all know this. Anyways, him and two other creators that cover crime, they had a big explosive argument today, right? And obviously it's surrounding Kiely's case once again, making it look like a spectacle, a circus, like just a bunch of savage people who clearly couldn't care for a young girl that's been done wrong, because everything that comes out of their mouth sounds as if it's just about them and their attention and their views. That's what I hear when they're talking and they're acting that way and behaving in that way. there's just no sense in it. And I know very well that, you guys don't want to see that. It bothers you guys. It affects you. It makes it hard to support many creators. And I know a lot of you probably do. And I just want to say sorry for them. Like, please straighten your shit up and do the right thing. Make this about Kiely, not about yourselves. Get out of the rabbit hole and look at what's in front of your friggin' face. See, one creator trolling lady on TikTok, which never at party and mistake August 5th party as Prosser. See, I just can't. I just can't with some of these creators today. And I'm not trying to like creator bash or whatever. I'm just saying, guys, please get back to the point. The point is finding the truth and justice for Kiely. Because even with that going on, it seems to me that that town and all those people just want this over with. They don't care if justice is served. That this is me saying my opinion, how it looks, how it appears at this very moment. It seems like an accident is the easiest answer for them. There's less questions, there's less scrutiny, there's less eyes on Truckee. Seems like it's better for the police station, for the children, and for the parents. That's the way it's starting to seem to me. And I believe full-heartedly that this SF investigates the day when Kiely was found by AWP. I think he had a jealousy outbreak. He was hoping to find her. He was hoping for the reward, in my opinion. That didn't happen. And then AWP finds Kiely, doesn't want a reward, and would have helped the family if they would have needed the help. You cannot tell me that those people, that they deserve the bullshit they're getting from this little nobody guy who's pretending to be a friggin' private investigator. When I first heard about this man, I heard, this is what I was told. So who's spreading this propaganda? That's my first question. We need to figure that one out. I heard that this SF Investigates was the family's private investigator. He was hired by the father and grandfather, and that he was actually a private investigator. Well, since then, I have learned that he is just a normal person that has a YouTube channel, and he thinks he's an investigator, it would seem. I don't think that he even has a license or education or experience. I mean, if he does, he could definitely show us that, or he can tell me otherwise. But from what I've found, he is none of those things. He's just a YouTuber from what I have found. He's not a private investigator. And that's like actually a crime to pretend like you're anything law enforcement associated. You cannot say you're a private investigator. You can say, I'm a YouTube creator that investigates cases. Yeah, you could say that. But telling people that you are a private investigator that was hired by this family to connect yourself so you can grow views and hype and clout, that's bullshit. And it's just like with Sammy pretending as if her and Kiely were the best of friends when they weren't. You are getting close to this investigation for what purpose? The other thing I was told is that money and clout might not be his only gain in this. That it seems as if he has a connection to Wayne Wu, the problematic sheriff, the whole reason that Project Veritas, the YouTube channel, exists. Let's see. I background checked him. He ain't YouTuber either. So he's just became a YouTube content creator as of this case because he's a local. Like what gives you the right to go out and bother things, touch things, make decisions, and pretend like you're part of the family's circle? I was told today that the grandfather wants you to stop your bullshit. He wants you to stop, grifting on them and pretending as if they support you. The way that I feel is that this SF Investigates, he gave information to upset the family, which sparked some of the reactions from the mother when Kiely was found, sparked reactions from the father and the community. I feel that he wanted it to seem as if the family had his back, that the family had him on their side, that they trusted in him, not AWP. He wants to discredit AWP at all costs, calling them out. Like who are you, dude? These people that you're calling out and trying to ruin have a good reputation. They started out by cleaning up the rivers and lakes and stuff, cleaning out debris, cars, all of that. And then eventually they got called to a car. They went and they cleaned it up and it had a body in it. So then they started getting contacted by the people of this country that needed a loved one found that went missing in a vehicle. And ever since then, they have not stopped helping families. The reason that they don't normally cover fresh cases like that is because of you. You are the reason. All of the drama, all the bullshit, people trying to latch on like a leech and suck it out. I know about those people. It's so sad. when you have a good heart and you want other people to be the same, sometimes you miss all the signs, all the red flags, because you brush them off thinking, no, that's just paranoia. Well, no, this man is trying to ruin them to gain his own following, and it's stupid, and it's so obvious. But I heard today that the family wanted him to leave them the hell alone. So that would debunk that they are in his side or whatever, you know? It's just strange. It's really strange that he wanted that to be the circumstances. Now, like I said, I have a list of questions to go over. Where did people hear first that the family had hired SF Investigates? Where did people hear that the content creator was an actual private investigator? Did he make those statements himself? Did he make the inference? Did he infer that he was a private investigator, that he was educated or experienced? Because it seems to me that he must have, or people wouldn't have had this idea and it wouldn't have been being spread around YouTube and around Truckee, I imagine. When did SF Investigates first begin to press the accident notion? Before AWP actually found Kiely, he was all supportive about it, ready for them to come in and help. That was until they were the ones that found her, literally in like 30 some minutes of being at Prosser. And if you remember, they were only at Prosser the second day because there was another distraction that distracted them from Prosser Lake and took them to Boca. Right? Yeah, right. All right. So why does he resent AWP so much? You think that's because he isn't getting the attention that they are? And I mean, just what is his reason for it? I'm serious. He said himself and inserted himself just like Summer Wells. So this man also inserted himself into the Summer Wells case? Is that what I'm hearing? That's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Has he lied to Kiely's family about AWP, about the day that Kiely was found, and about Kiely's case? Has he lied to them? Apparently so. Has SF been setting the stage, making comments to family to turn them against AWP so that he can then make it seem that the family chose him, SF, to back over AWP, even though they were the ones who got out, left their families, sacrificed, and found Kiely? Okay? Yeah. I have an education in criminal justice law enforcement investigation. I have experience in law enforcement. I also was a corrections officer for a very long time. And I am not going to tell you that I'm a private investigator because I'm not. It probably wouldn't be very hard for me to get my PI license. And actually, I would like to look into it. But I do believe that he has been the one to start all of this stuff being said. Yeah, I even thought that Wayne Wu had been taken out of his position. I thought there was a new sheriff for Placer County. But as it would seem, Wayne Wu is still the sheriff. And this man, his only connection that I've found so far is him knowing Wayne Wu. Now, why would he need us to believe, and the family and everyone else, why would this need to be an accident? Because he's just going on the opposite of whatever AWP says. Since they believe this was foul play, keep in mind this as well. Who's the only person that was underwater, saw Kiely, saw her car, saw everything with his own eyes? Who is that? Who is that person that would know? If you went underwater and you see a young girl with no clothing on and she's like restricted by her seatbelts and straps in the vehicle and her body's in a certain way under the water, you're going to know if she done this or if someone else done it or if it was an accident, right? There are reasons why they knew right away that this was foul play. And I'm so sorry, SF, that your sorry ass did not find her, but you didn't, and you cannot change that. You are being a very disrespectful person. You're being a grifter. You're being, I don't know. I just can't stand it. Just all of this nonsense. It just needs to stop. The misinformation, the misguidance, getting on other people's panels like you did and talking crap about them in the way that you did. It's really how I learned to find that you're not who you say you are and that your gain in this is clout and views and money. SF insists murder now. It's accident. He is insisting that it's an accident because AWP and all of us believe that it is not, based off of actual information, pictures, videos, circumstances, based on her body, in the car, being in the trunk the way that she was. Jared himself stated on 10 to Life, which I'm about ready to go find for y'all, that she had on one shoe. He tried to avoid the question because it's really heavy to know that that was the situation. Obviously, if this was an accident, she would have had her clothing on, would she not? Unless there was some situation that it had, but that's just not the situation. He also inserted himself into the little boy's Kaiser. Let's see, can't remember off the top of my head. They made him get out. Well, see, this is the first time that I have ever heard of SF Investigates. And from what I have learned, from what I have seen from him, the comments, the just absolute filth, I want to show you guys a few of his comments. The way that he handles himself absolutely unprofessionally. He says that Sammy is clean as a whistle. He says that Jagger may not have. He may have been in Reno because we have a guy named Nate who I heard today that his father is actually the sheriff. And if you've heard me from the beginning, I said that rumor was going around. The reason these kids are keeping it quiet is because the sheriff's son attended the party. That's pretty strange. This photo I showed to you guys the other day, and I said, oh, never mind. That can't be Nate. I have heard that this is supposed to be Nate, but the creator where I heard that has lately been going off the rails slightly as well. So I'm not sure, but this is supposed to be Nate without sunglasses, and it very well could be. So I wanted to bring that back up. Now, SF Investigates. I have a person also that I have invited to come on. He was in screenshots, like his Twitter username was in screenshots where he was speaking to locals and talking about things that they knew, talking about how there was actually 3 other first eye people that saw Kiely the morning after the party, But this says, SF Investigates. Nerdy Addicts Group is recklessly spreading a rumor that an arrested Colby Tanner Smith, 20, is related to Kiely's friend. This is 1,000% false, 1,000% false and confirmed. False, do not believe it. Who are you to be telling us what to believe? I mean, I don't even know about the situation he's speaking on there, but who is he to tell us? Here, he's telling this person, Snuggy Nuggy, your parents must vomit when they think of what you turned into. What a letdown. Wow, are you kidding me? What a letdown you are. You're just a grifter. You're just hunching the backs of AWP, and I've been done that way personally. People have used my name to gain content, like, just disgusting. Just stop already. Here's another one of his, little notices. SF Investigates. Since Coffin Daffer is suggesting I'm a fraud and wasn't the one put in a horrible position to notify Kiely's father and grandfather, and instead is accusing me, I will tell the actual truth. This is where he starts, his bullshit. AWP never notified either parent. Her mother learned from a waitress. As we all know, AWP done what they were supposed to do. They did contact family. They done what they could. They done their best. But in my opinion, this weird little guy here was standing in their ear, telling them all kinds of wrong bullshit to try and ruin AWP's reputation because he could gain from that. Another thing that we spoke about, and I told you that we would compare, is this. I have been looking at this over and over and over. The way it's laying, it almost appears as though those straps are touching one another, making them appear thicker. I think that they could be thinner. I think this definitely could be her bodysuit. When looking back, I truly do. And who told us otherwise? Sammy? Well, so far, we can't believe much that Sammy has said. The only thing that I believe from her mouth is the parking spot, which I'm going to show you guys. That TikTok that I was talking about, Zav gave me permission to use it, and I'm going to show you guys. Then we're going to compare the still shot to the photos that I have already made comparison to. Welcome, Justin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am back, and I'm mentally well. I have took a little bit of a breather. I actually got to spend some time with family, which I never get to do. So I'm good. How are you, though?
I'm good. Everybody's good. How's everybody else doing in here?
Yeah, how is everyone?
No, why can't I see the chat?
You go up to comments. Do you see that on the top, on the right-hand side underneath broadcast? It should have a little box to the right side up against the right side of the computer that says comments on the very top. Oh, well, I don't know. It may be different.
There it is. I'm on my phone. I'm outside actually.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Let's see. We have a comment from Rachel Johnson.
You
Do
are
you
most
honestly
welcome.
do you honestly believe that her parents would believe it was an accident if she were unclothed? I don't know that they believe AWP. I think that SF has made them out to be liars and like they're just creating this soap opera. And I think that he has led them to not believe anything they said. So I think that they don't believe him. And what do you think about that, Justin?
I don't buy anything that SF investigates. I spent, I don't know, like an hour and a half reading Twitter, just Twitter after Twitter. So when he first started the case and he went up there on the 11th or the 10th, he basically followed the exact same evolution that everybody else has. First it was, he was on there blaming Sammy, and then it was Jagger, and then it was this, and then it was that. But every single thing that he said in those interviews, first with the glare and then with Zav Girl, he absolutely contradicted himself 100%. So everything that he said in those interviews, he said the exact opposite in his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And then I think, was it yesterday or today that the glare, I think somebody said that Kiely's grandpa left a message on one of the comments saying, talking to the glare or talking to somebody in one of the comments saying, or talking to Steve, I guess, in the comments saying, stop, leave us alone. You're hurting our family.
They
And
are.
I don't believe, I do not believe that Kiely's grandpa got on,
Yeah,
for the
like
first time ever in his entire life,
yeah.
popped on the glare, and then found a comment from Steve Fisher and decided, hey, today's the day. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna lay this here for everybody. If I don't buy that shit.
It's for views. It's for clout. So they seem like they're the
Of
most
course it
important. Ryan
is.
ain't the most important. I'm the most important. No, I am. I'm Tony. I'm important. No, wait, I'm Ryan. Let me rap you this. It's ridiculous. Fucking stop already.
Oh my God. That whole thing. I watched that whole thing unfold today. It was so stupid.
I am just sickened. Like it's one thing to draw attention, and I appreciate every single person that made any effort whatsoever to bring attention when she was missing. I appreciate any one single person that's brought attention to her to help push for justice in her case. But this nonsense that's going on is making every single true crime creator look like an idiot. Like, I'm not joking. It is. It's a spectacle, and they're doing it on purpose. And it's sad to me the certain creators that they are snatching up and bringing along, and when they're done, they're not gonna be there for those people to clean up the mess they've helped make.
Absolutely not.
And I care about some of these people a lot.
I think a lot of it is just people get, whipped up in the whole, I got a celebrity and I got this and I got that, but it's getting ridiculous, man. I mean, it's just like these people in Truckee have had their entire lives combed through by thousands and thousands of people, and most of them don't have anything to do with anything. Nothing. They're just, I mean, it's just getting to the point now where it's crazy.
Right. Have all of you saw what we are speaking on, like the argument that apparently took place today? I hope that you're aware of it. I mean, I could stream a few minutes of it to just kind of.
And that whole thing was, so when Ryan was on a live and he found an old deleted post when Tony was pulling up a video, right? He was sharing his screen with the chat, and he pulled up a video, and one of the comments was some just dirty, creepy old man shit. And, that just sent Ryan into a blind rage. So, of course, he jumped over because Tony was live. So he hopped on there, and it just went ridiculous from there. I mean, it was just, it was so stupid.
Right. So
I mean,
what was the
everybody.
basis of the argument exactly? Like,
What was the
would
what?
you say that the main reason that it happened was?
I don't know. So, all right. So I don't know if Ryan thought that particular post had to do with Kiely, because originally he said, "Look at this post, Tony, who are you going to gangbang?" And because that's what it
Oh my
said.
God.
He was talking to somebody else, right, about gangbanging some girl.
That is just that's
And
disrespectful.
and the tweet say, and it was, or the Instagram, the message said 6 weeks before.
Oh
Well,
my God.
Ryan put that together and he said, well, that's right before Kiely went missing. But if you look at it, the actual message came in on August 17th. So 6 weeks before that would have put it around July 1st, which is like 45 days before Kiely went missing. So I don't think it had anything to do with Kiely. But when Ryan jumped on there and he asked him the question, he was
You know
like,
what's crazy?
who is this? He went right into Ryan's mother.
This
Just
stuff you started talking about, I have somebody that's been contacting me on Instagram and sending me like conspiracy things, like involving Xana, involving the glare, involving all those people, right? And like they're on Ryan's side, they're pro Ryan, but they told me that they did bring up something that does concern me from my interview with Xaname, but I don't believe that these YouTubers had anything to do with it. Xaname is from the area. I still believe her, but there is something questionable. When we asked her about why she took the video down, it was because she said she didn't want the family to see. Well, recently, since she's been talking about the case, talking about Ryan and talking about all these things and re-uploaded that video, she re-uploaded it, but there was a piece missing. Do you want to know what that piece that's missing is?
Sure, go ahead, tell me.
On her phone, as she's walking, it shows that she is in the very location where Kylie's car was found. And she told me during my interview with her that she was
was
never
on the
in
other
that area.
side.
And what did I say to her? Do you
Hey,
remember?
I remember that. She said she was on the other side. Well, you saw Zav
And I
just
said,
pulled
not
those
on
pictures
purpose,
up, right?
obviously. Now, what is it?
Today, so Zav found pictures of one of Kylie's friends that
And it's just
really
barely.
look like Xaname's niece. I
I heard.
mean, they they do look a lot alike.
They do.
Yeah, a
So
lot
this
alike.
is one time that this may actually be something like
Yeah, I
slightly.
mean, I don't know. I mean, I want to say that it's all just crazy, and she's just doing the same shit that
We
Ryan's
can look
doing and
into
kind of going on
that.
a trade. But man, they do look a lot alike.
I think we should look into it, and then our next live we should discuss it. Like I want to be sure, because there's been so much stuff that's been discussed before ever like anybody's spending their time to research it or even look into it, right?
No,
Just
no,
because
no.
Ryan said
Well, I don't know. So no, of course not. I mean that shit went out the window weeks ago, right? I mean nobody researches anything. They just get something sent to them in a file, and
and they're
oh,
like,
that's
"Nope,
it.
going
That's fact.
live."
That's truth. Right. And I think that's what it was. Is somebody sent her something, and don't quote me on this because I could be way off. And maybe she got on there and spent 17 hours researching this, but from
Xanama's niece is
what
11.
I remember, it was somebody sent her a file, and the file was already put together and had all this information in it. Said, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Okay, I feel you there. So we've got a lot going on right now. I think, like I've said, that SF, it's a weird situation, and that does include Check It, because he is, associating himself as like Batman and Robin with SF. Then, so it's like so weird. On one end of the world, on one side of the United States, you have these two clowns that are absolutely taking advantage of this poor family and trying to misguide them, misinform them, and misinform and misguide the community and followers. Then you have Ryan Upchurch and two other pretty large content creators arguing and creating a spectacle. But then, this niece thing, if she's 11, then I highly doubt it. I'd just say it's a coincidence for once.
I don't think she's 11 anymore. Jillian, I think if you're talking about when she first came over here, I think that was a few years ago. I don't think that was like recent. I think she's a few years older now, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, we'll look into it. That's what I said. We need to look into that, because it's important. If that's the case, then we do know that there is a connection. And in the beginning of this, I apologize to Xaname, if you remember, because I had thought that she, out of that whole story, the Ronnie thing's weird. I feel like whoever he is, I feel like he was at the party. I don't know. It just seems that way. I'm not saying he did anything.
I know. And then all of a sudden he's around again, right?
Yes,
He's doing
right at the
lives
same
again.
Same time that Xaname and Ickadmel also, which I don't think has anything to do with it. I think that he doesn't understand that these people could have something to do with it.
I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like he just pops up and, jumps on these panels, then he disappears for 2 weeks. So,
right. Some things are just coincidence, but others not so much. And like I stated, and we've talked about it, those two people are strange, Ronnie and Xana May. I have apologized, and I
in,
still mean that apology.
in certain ways. Yeah.
However, I do feel that she did not fully answer me. Whenever she was on my podcast, she could not speak anything about it. She didn't really want to touch on anything that we needed to know.
No, she didn't talk about anything to do with
No,
Ryan.
and I tried to be respectful. I'm still trying to be respectful, but I would like to speak with her once more. I want to ask her why she deleted that part of the video and re-uploaded it. Why she's recently gotten back into the game of true crime, because I felt like I was being shamed for what I do at the time.
Right. And before it was, she didn't want anything to do with it. She didn't want to talk about it. She couldn't speak about that. She couldn't talk about that. And, you know, she basically used the time to promote the soldier story, right? Which is fine. I mean, it's her.
Fine.
Great.
I'm not
You
being
know, but
Michelle.
don't come in on Thursday and say, I don't want to talk about anything. I can't talk about this. I can't talk about that. And then Friday, get up in the morning, go on a panel and start talking about it.
On all kinds of panels, from what I'm being told.
Right. I mean, you know.
Yeah. And now she can talk about it. And then if you didn't want the family to see that because it would hurt them, then why would you ever re-upload if that was the reason? Because then it's still going to hurt them. And actually, you just deleted a part that showed on your map on that, what was it called? Caltopia, the thing that kept track of where you have searched. She had it up on her phone, the same time frame when the time and date was supposedly wrong. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that I was sent the video clip that showed that is the part that has been removed. That's the only part that's missing, is something that would absolutely attach her to that location. And that's strange to me because I thought it was not to hurt people. I thought that was the purpose.
Absolutely.
Michelle says she's not 11. I mean, we need to know if she's underage. I don't feel that I should ever share any of her pictures or information.
All right, when did that news story come out? Can somebody just check real quick and see when that news story on Xana May came out? When was that?
Which story? Are you talking about where she deleted this
Yeah,
stuff?
the one. No, so the NBC or CBS or somebody did that story about her going over.
That was from the summer, I do believe. I watched it. Let me just look for it real quick. I'll share my screen.
It was just recently?
It was this summer, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah, because the war's going on, you know, it wasn't going on before, so it had to be recent. Okay, hold on. Let's pull up.
Mike sent you an email to do something.
But how would I would have to know her actual name to search it. It might come up. Xana.
Anastasia something or other.
Let's see. Xana May. I found it once before, but I think it was because someone.
You type it in Google, her actual name will come right out.
Saves family from Ukraine.
I mean, at this point, she's been doxxed like 57 times.
I'm not trying to dox her. I promise.
I don't think anybody is. I don't think anybody can at this point. I think if you're anywhere near true crime in YouTube, you pretty much know who she is. I mean, she's got to get past that at this point.
That's definitely not it. Sorry about that. Ukraine refugee situation, war in Ukraine, support the children. No, I need to put California. Oh, gosh. Cal Guard soldier helps family evacuate from Ukraine.
Bam, there you go.
Here we are. Okay.
Yeah, working at NASA.
I'm going to actually screenshot this photo because I'm assuming that would be the niece in the photo. And thankfully, her face is covered, so this is viable. All right. Cal Guard soldier helps family evacuated from Ukraine. U.S. Army Sergeant First Class I won't say her full name, was overcome with emotion when she saw her cousin. I won't say her name, and it says she is 11. Sophie, I was running to them, and we just hugged and cried and just stood there and cried. She said it was extremely emotional. A Ukrainian native and naturalized American citizen left the United States last week to help who fled their home amid the war in Ukraine. A traditional National Guard soldier with the California.
Oh, well, yeah, duh. I mean, the war in Ukraine, it'd have to be now, right?
Yeah, so this was in, let's see, not long, the forces invaded. So when was this date? March 11th. So
yeah, it's got to be. I mean, they just started this shit over in Ukraine, so. So that's, I guarantee, it can't be her. That girl Zav girl's going
That
around
is
showing
not
around that she's 16,
right.
17 years old.
It's just something that it's just body. It's just filler. It's just like if you're fixing a car, you have to have filler to fill in the dents, right?
Right,
Well, when you
exactly.
need to talk about things, you need things to talk about when people appear the same. That seems to be what Ryan Upchurch
Well,
does.
I'm
And I think
sure everybody in all 3,000 people in her chat want to talk about themselves. Everybody wants to talk about something, right?
right.
You
So
don't
I'm
got
not
to put
sure.
that craziness up there.
I just do have that question. It's something important to ask because you know, it's going to make people think that she is guilty when she may not be. You know, she may have nothing to do with it, as she said. But that is suspicious because clearly what you told us, your reasoning, is not the truth. It just can't be. I mean, it's just yeah. But I had talked with Tiffany from Zav Girl, and she did give me permission to share the full TikTok that I was comparing the parking spot of the car to all the photos that we have looked at.
Hmm.
The photo you helped me with that
Yeah.
everyone has been using and talking about lately.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm gonna pull first. I'm gonna just show the still shot of what the work we had done, and this covers the car like location. To
Can't
see
see.
this to the left, it would be where Sammy pointed. The middle photo would have been Checkett's car being parked in the very almost exact spot. Then over here we have the party photo, the one that was given to the news, and you can see the little silver spot. Well, when we worked on this photo, then you could then begin to see that there was a mill there and all kinds of, well, you know, but maybe people watching don't. So we figured that out. That would have been most likely, that has to be Kylie's car. Well, then you have this TikTok that comes out. And it was actually the night of the party. The date is shown on the TikTok, thankfully. I had to flip this because this would have been coming from that direction. And then when you do the TikTok, it flips it. So this would have been the same side of the road. It would have been exact because if you look there, it looks like that isn't a road, that's just like a flat spot where people probably park often and they're beating down the grass. And then they've got the road over here, which is where the person would have been when they took the other photo.
Yeah.
And I think this is important. It's super important because in my opinion, I don't know. I feel like something happened at the party, clearly.
Well, yeah. So
Are you there? I think you may have glitched out on me, darling. Just go out and come back in and it'll fix it.
there, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know why it does that. Why can't I pull up?
It's StreamYard. It's a piece of junk. I'm going to find a different streaming service because this is expensive for the version I've got. The things that I paid for don't usually work. You can't use green screen. It's just it's a piece of junk. So I'm going to try
I
to
know.
find.
I don't like not being able to see the chat though. There you go.
I can't remember how it is on the phone, but I think it's actually on the bottom, and you click one of those things at the bottom, and it'll come up, and you click comments, and that's what'll bring the comments.
No,
up.
yeah, I can bring it up, but I have a Z Fold, right? So I want to bring my big screen up so I can see it, but when I hit the chat, it just floods the screen with the chat, and then I can't see anything else. So it's just one or the other.
She saw Snapchat with Mexican party. Right. I know that she had looked at that party photo, and she is from the area, all of that. I'm not stating that she did something, but I am saying she had something to hide, and I wonder why. Why were you hiding?
According to her, she was not at a party. She pulled that off. So according to Zanime, she just pulled that off of a random Snapchat.
Yeah. Just like when you were going through your feed on TikTok, how to show you different videos. That's how she saw it, apparently. That's what she has said. But I do know she lives in the area. I know that she goes out there often. I asked her. She said she did. She, for whatever reason, stayed all night there, and she felt weird when I asked her that. I could tell that she did not like me asking.
That's weird to me. Why? Yeah. You're 3 hours from the house, not even 3 hours from your house. And I get if you're tired and it's late and you've been searching all day. But she didn't. She went out, she rode her canoe for a couple of hours, and then she got back and it was her and the dog and decided to just sleep in the car. That's I don't know. Maybe it's just weird to me.
She stayed over a number of days in her car, like something happened that she had to be there for. It's just weird.
Yeah. And then she got up in the middle of the night and decided she wanted to get on panels, which is really weird.
Yeah.
And then like a day or two later, all of a sudden, all these people from Truckee start hitting YouTube. Ronnie hits YouTube. Sammy hits YouTube. Like, how did Sammy end up with Tony Dodge of all people?
Exactly.
How does that happen?
That's why I said in the beginning, I kept thinking that they knew each other, that her and Sammy were actually friends. Remember that? That's what I thought.
It had. I mean, there's no way that Tony knows. I just can't see any connection that could possibly be Tony to Sammy in any even weird roundabout way.
It makes you wonder if Zanime isn't friends with Sammy and had Sammy go on his podcast and done that so that when she started getting on the podcast, it would get more views.
It's
We're
weird.
all right up church.
Zanime's got to be 40.
She's I don't know how old she is. I'd say she might be around my age.
What is she doing with an 18-year-old? I mean, that doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense.
I feel you, but she goes out to that lake often. Who's to say that she doesn't know these people?
Sure, yeah, that's true. Apparently, Sammy's always out there. Every video she makes, she's out either by Boca or, the Sanctuary or Prosser. So she got all these.
I wonder what she wasn't out there, like staying in her car the night of the party and just ended up at the party. That could be the situation. Maybe she was there to canoe and do. And did you notice also, she brought this up. I wasn't the only one out on the lake in a boat with my dog. Also, Check-It was out in a canoe while she was out in a kayak. Remember how she kept getting aggravated with me?
Did she say that?
Canoe? Well, she said that on another podcast. She stated that she was not the only one out there on a boat with a dog. Because Check-It was also out there, but he was out on a canoe. She
said Check-It was out there on the same day.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. So does that connect the two? Do they know one another?
I don't know, it makes my hair stand up.
It's making me, and SF. All this, it's such a crazy connection. I don't want to sound like I'm a conspiracy theorist because I'm usually the first to.
Might as well. I mean,
we're like,
It's so weird. You can't tell if you were to sit down and tell this story with everything that you know, just the factual evidence. If you just sit down and tell this story to a friend, there's no way you can tell it and make it sound normal. Right.
Or like an
it's going to sound weird, and there's going to be parts that are going to be like, what?
Yeah. That's because so many people have so much to hide in this case. It's like so many people that we've heard from, they have something that they don't want us to know. But then there's all this other shit that they make sure to tell us. When somebody is telling you things that you didn't ask for, there's a reason for it. And
then you got like Upchurch, who's just juggling fucking suspects, right? He's got 37 suspects. He's just juggling the shit out of them, and none of them have a fucking thing to do with Truckee. So it just muddies the waters with everything. And it's just like they keep throwing shit on the wall to see what'll stick, but nothing sticks or everything sticks. So you don't know what to sort through.
Yeah, but I think we're on to something, at least in this part with these people, trying to figure out what their agendas are, because each person has their own agenda.
Absolutely. Especially Steve SF. Yeah, that guy, man, I'll tell you what. Yeah. There's no way that I believe that he just, it's weird.
SF,
the guy
you don't agree with us and you don't like this and we don't have the right answers you think we should have, you're welcome to come on our platform.
And he's not doing that.
I'll welcome you. I don't think you would ever come to speak with me. I really don't, because you know that I will ask you the hard questions. And you know that I'm not going to give you a chance to bullshit the answers. I guess that would be it. And also these questions, they lead to other things, because I had this thought the other day. What does this man have to gain? What would Check-It have to gain? Well, when did they start going after AWP? When she was found. And what was he like fighting to get? The reward.
Well, I would assume money is the ultimate, $75,000 reward.
And now I got thinking, is there an insurance policy for Kiely that that her father has spoken about around them? Do they believe that they will earn money for this? Are they earning money from the public for making themselves seem as if they're connected to the family? Yes. Does the family actually back them over anybody else? No. But have they inferred that? Yes. Why? Is there an insurance policy? It's a good question, because if in these insurance policies, if it's murder, that's going to tie the money up for a very long time.
Yeah.
If it's an accident, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Nobody really finds out about it. It's paid out, and that's it.
Tie that up in a bow, and you'll have a check in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because what other reason would they be falsifying things? Because I was told the other day, it sounds to me as if the people thinking this is an accident have no proof to prove that. Ask them, tell them they need to be proven that it's an accident, because here we've got all this to show that it's most likely not, but I've not seen one thing that says, oh, this was an absolute accident.
And you can't even, I can't even make it all the way to Kiely and what happened, at the campground, because I'm too busy trying to wade through every bullshit character that you find, right? So you find something and somebody, brings what are supposed to be facts out, and you're like, well, geez, that's weird. Let me spend all this time looking at this. And then pretty much figure out, well, that's got nothing to do with anything. So you can't even really make it to, just looking at Kiely and what happened, and was it an accident? Who knows, right? Neither one of us know. But you can definitely look at SF Investigates and know that when he comes on and says, oh, my poor heart, I just wanted to be there for the family.
Yeah.
And what you guys are doing by, being on YouTube and profiting off this, all this. Well, buddy, every time you say that, you're going straight to Twitter and you're throwing down, I think he's got like 6,700 tweets in the last, 6 months alone. So
Yeah.
he just lives on Twitter, right? Doing the same thing that he's knocking creators for, arguing with nerds.
Is it an email?
What's that?
Sorry. So someone sent this. Do you remember that TikTok? I hate to like intervene, and this is a
No,
different
no,
subject, but it's related to Kiely, and it's important. So do you remember? I think this TikTok. Let me see about the date, if it'll show me the date. I know it was fairly close to when Kiely went missing. When Jagger had posted the video of his car. Do you guys remember that? Like the
Kinda.
TikTok of his car, and it's just like it's a Nissan. What type of car is this, Eric?
Where he was just like out on the street, he was racing the car and
He's
everything.
just out on the road, and he's making this video of it. It's like the grass. Okay, well, listen to the lyrics of this song. Listen closely. Okay, let me see if I can make it go back. I'm gonna take it back. Listen to the lyrics. Not the song itself is necessarily not important, but the words are. I want you to know it's okay, crying. Now you're really gone and I can't get you to call me. Fuck this place. If you was a ghost, I would what? Kiss your face. Like this song is so fucking weird. And he's just taking a video of his car, like right when all this happened.
Yeah, it's weird. Who is that?
That is Jagger. He put that on. Remember the TikTok?
No, who's actually singing the song?
Oh, I'm not even sure. I really don't know. It's just screenshotted, so I can't see, the
really?
artist.
Weird.
So somebody screen recorded it and sent it to me because they felt like they listened to the lyrics and wrote them down and was like, wow. Who? Just Mike? Thank you so much, Just Mike. Thank you for sending that to me. That is an important thing. There's other stuff he sent, and Justin actually will try to go over it. But what was I going to show? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. That caught me completely off guard.
This video is the only video that
Jagger, wow, SF
This
created these people. Just Mike says 43 years old. Tell me it is Ronnie's anime and check it has SF number to me and sounds staged by SF2.
To my thingy. Is it saved? Did you save it though?
So all right, Just Mike, what's he saying there? Tell me why does Ronnie's anime and check it have SF number? To me, it sounds staged. By always saying,
yeah,
okay.
How do they have contact?
The SF staged everything. You think he's the puppet master? Just Mike?
You got Sammy. You have let's talk about the friends. Okay, we got Sammy, Mags, Kate, Jagger, Nate, a Cody boy.
Bunch of Nates. You got 3 different Nates.
Yeah, Nick, the tow truck driver. You've got friend wise. Who else?
Can you call him a friend? Nick, the tow truck driver?
I don't know, but I'm going to.
We're gonna call him a friend? Okay.
Yeah. And then you've got let's see, who's that one? It just came to my brain and left. Elsa, the girl named Elsa that everybody's saying went around and talked to people and the sleuthy thing, the sleuthy girl.
Right.
Got that. Okay. Now, YouTuber like world, like people that got involved and started talking or trying to become famous. You got Nick the tow truck driver again, possible. You got who else you got? You tell me, Justin, your list of those people.
What list do you want? What creators have inserted themselves into this case?
Got Ryan Upchurch. You've got
you got Tony Dodge. You got Ryan. You got Ikamel.
Ronnie.
You got Ronnie, Zanime. You got man. And then everybody, and then you got a whole subset and sub list of people that come along with each one of those people, right?
Yeah.
So
You got the police, all the different agencies that are local, they're all probably dirty because they've not told them one another. They've not done anything to stop the problems that are happening or get rid of the people who are using their power for the wrong reasons and hurting children and committing
Yeah,
SA.
I don't know. And I just read, and I meant to send that to you too. I forgot. But I read. So there's a paper that's out in California. It's called SF Gate,
Oh.
and yeah, it's weird. But so they've been covering Truckee and every newspaper, every radio station. I've been jumping on and listening to 1015 and Truckee and a few other ones, and every single paper, every single radio station, they're all pushing the accident. Everybody's pushing the accident. When you read about who's investigating it, like if you read in a Truckee paper and you say, okay, this is who, it's the California Highway Patrol Accident Division is investigating the murder, the death of.
To go out there and actually investigate, to interview people, to check out the area, to see the vibe.
I know. I have a friend that lives in Sacramento, but I don't feel like I could ask her to do anything.
Well,
like she would just look at me like I'm crazy,
We can get a fleet van, and that would suffice. There's front seats, and then there's a back. That would work. It's worth it. I want to do everything in my capability, everything in my being to help this little girl, because it's so strange. It's as if all of this stuff that Ryan has done, the SF has done, all the creators, it's like, the family, they just want this to end. And it's sad to me that I don't feel that they want to push getting justice. Like, that would be everything to me if something happened to my child.
That would help. If you look at it, though, we may just never know anything else about this case. They may come out in 2 weeks and say it was an accident, and then that is it. And you're just going to be stuck knowing what you know, and that's going to be that. And there's going to be and it's going to suck because
we're not going to stop. I promise.
I don't believe that I don't believe that it was intentional homicide. I don't think that, somebody planned to kill her. I think that a tragic accident happened and everybody involved got scared.
Do you think, though, that it was like, okay, do you think there was a mean girl thing going on and it went too far and then they had to have it cleaned up?
Maybe. Could be.
I do think there's jealousy and shit involved.
It could be. I mean, Kiely was young too. So
yeah.
I know everybody says that she was very bright. She was, very, very smart. But at the end of the day, she was 16. She was very young, and she was at a party with 30-year-olds. And I think that maybe she latched on to a couple of the older girls, because if you look at, some of the older, of her friends that are out there, you just know that they're a little more mature than what Kiely was, so I could just see Kiely kind of latching on to somebody at that party.
She was homeschooled. And
right.
She had been
she skied to when she went to Forest. She literally had to ski miles to go to school.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to put skis on to go to school?
My father was born in 1950. He used to go to school without shoes and had to travel really far to get to school.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah. So you got to think about that. The fact that there was no service out there. Someone today said to me, I think it's weird that her mom states that she got a text from her while she was at the lodge and she'd been asleep or whatever, the text where she said she was coming home. But I said to them, well, do both of them have iPhones? Because it could have been an iMessage. I'm sure they have Wi-Fi at the lodge, right? What do you think?
I've heard it both ways. So I heard the other day that no, they don't, that they have Wi-Fi in the guest portion of maybe one of the lodges, I think. And I'm not sure how that works. I'm not sure if it's separate entities, if there's many different lodges or rooms, smaller cabins, or if it's just one big lodge.
You need to find out if they have Wi-Fi set up at the
It's not advertised on their website. So if you go to the website, there's nothing that says Wi-Fi, TV, cable, nothing like that. So, and I have heard that no, they don't. I've heard people talking about that they do not have Wi-Fi, that they barely get cell service.
That they have to. She have received that if she was actually at home. There'd be no way. If she doesn't have Wi-Fi and there's definitely no service, she couldn't have received it. This person asks, how
Well, that's what I'm saying. So cell service, I guess that they get a cell service. It's in and out, but I don't know that they actually have Wi-Fi.
right. We need to find out because that's important because that could possibly show that maybe there's something more sinister. I don't know. Hate to say it, hate to think it, but I know all too well that it happens. I've booked in at the jail. I've booked in grandparents. I've booked in preachers. I've booked in mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers.
I guess we could call a couple of local cable companies out there and just ask them if it's in the coverage area.
There should be a website for their rental services, right? Wouldn't you think?
It is, but it doesn't. Yeah, Lost Trail Lodge been on it. It doesn't say.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to answer this and I'm going to bring Just Mike up to talk with us. He's had a lot of good input and he's sent so many good emails. But this question, how do we know they have his number? Talking about SF. And then SF blocked me on Twitter. I didn't say anything mean, just asked a few questions and then told him I thought the Zav interview was interesting. So basically, he isn't willing to hear anything that isn't completely positive and all love him, love him. He's the greatest. He's the hero. That's the way it seems.
Who said that?
That was Paulani Casey. She's the one that asked it. How do we know that they all have each other's numbers? Well, they're in contact with one another. That we know because there is like a group thing floating around where they were talking literally when the whole anime thing was going on. So that's kind of strange. Talk My Way says, this is like a troll thing, but what makes any of you think a license needed to help find a missing people? It isn't that you need a license to help find a missing people. Obviously, we've all parted in that. What I'm saying is you have to have a license to be a friggin' private investigator, and you can't go around YouTube pretending to be one when you're not.
Well, I mean, it definitely, if you're going to be a private investigator too, I would hope that if I was going to hire a private investigator, number one, I would want him to be licensed, but number two, I'd want him to be trained in some type of investigative skill.
Have some type of experience, work, even if it was just being a janitor at a damn jail. At least you would be around law and understand how things work somewhat.
Right. I think personally I would want a little more than that. But
I mean, he ain't even got that. He just knows the sheriff. Holy shoot.
Right. He just knows old woo, right?
Yeah. Welcome, Mike. Justin.
Hello. Hey, Mike.
What's on your mind?
Well, I've been doing my own like kind of like web sleuthing, just watching everything behind the scene, watching what you guys say, and just watching everything on it. And I've been keep on looking. I'm like, okay, most people aren't talking about her past of being there, and that's what I've been focusing. Like one of the videos I sent you, you could clearly hear her towards the end admitting that her and Sammy have been at that location multiple times. Like, this isn't like party ever. And that's what some people are placing it like. And I'm looking like, no, there's a pattern. This sanctuary has been a pattern. Something went different on this pattern.
Right.
And it ended up on Kiely's head.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you have a video that at the end it says what now? You can hear Kiely talk?
You can hear Sammy talking.
Okay.
I don't know if she was getting or if she was talking to somebody else. If she was talking to somebody else, it was a hot mic and it was still on. And I picked it up by using the Boss here ones I have, and which I put the noise cancellation in. And I'm like, interesting. You said that. I'm surprised not everyone caught that.
I will pull that up. I told Eric to get me all the emails that you were sending. So that's the one that you're talking about. I need to pull up and show everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm so glad you got on panel to tell us because I wasn't really understanding which one was the most important.
Other interviews, but this one that I say is I'm like, no one's playing this. No one's talking about it.
And what's the gist of what she says? What does she say?
Like they've been at that campsite before. Like they've been, like her justice, like she's partied there with her before, like, and because nobody like very small people knew about that July 24th picture, which was first on a video, which screen grabbed multiple people like myself, screen grabbed it in our group. We shared it out. Unfortunately, that got out of groups, and it just flooded out to everybody.
And that's the July
And that was,
24th. That's the one that with they're standing around the table.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But they also had that other one where it was advertising for this August little party. Like it said, everybody come, everybody at 9 p.m.
Right. Okay, I remember that one too. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say those kids are organized out there. Yeah.
When I first looked at it, I first was thinking like, okay, it's a rave, because I was like doing Google image searching on the ones with the blue pictures, and I started looking at that, and I was like, okay. Now today, in a different live, they were trying to say that this party was connected to the Proser party because it's based on a Project X August 5th thing, and I'm looking, I'm like, no, it's not even connected. You don't even have the woods being connected, but it made me think how this party was. This reminds me of a Project X party because you got people doing whatever they want, and on the beach line, you got people in the campgrounds, and you got all the other places doing things with no authorities
When you
nearby.
say Project X party, what do you mean?
The movie Project X.
Okay, I've never seen it. I'm sorry.
We should probably watch Project X if it
I
seems.
should. Yeah, I'm bad. Yeah.
I'm trying so hard to see this video.
Party, like unannounced, like it's kind of like I don't give a fuck.
I got you. Kind of the end of the, like, if hey, we're all going off to college party. End of the summer bash. Okay, yeah, I remember those when I was a kid. Yeah, absolutely.
The movie is kind of weird.
Anybody willing to go to Reno and maybe Midtown? Yeah, perfect. The search is on for 16-year-old Kiely Rodni. She
What is
was
that?
missing Saturday
The video.
morning after she didn't come home from a party. You to be looking out for Kiely and Kylie's car right now.
Why can't I see it?
Reno,
I'm going to get it up as soon as I
maybe
can.
Midtown, yeah,
Oh, it's not up. Okay.
for 16-year-old
Yeah.
Kiely Rodni. She
All right,
was
I'm gonna go back to chat then.
Saturday morning
All right.
after she didn't come
Yeah.
home
So,
from
Mike, what do you think?
Right.
What do you have a theory? Do you have this a strong feeling? This is what happened.
Right off the bat, it like because I had charges on marijuana when I was younger, and
Right.
that case was dismissed and everything. It was wrong, and I looked. I'm like, okay, mine was marijuana. This was a minor. I was an adult and everything. You get high charges for this. This one, she's alcohol, and she admits alcohol, saying I gave shots to her. There's no
Right.
arrest at all. None.
And
Nada.
I wonder
Then-
what was in
Okay.
Kelly's system, and I cannot wait till we get that information because that'll tell us a lot of whether and even
Mhm.
when we do get it, though, who knows? I feel that the whole cup like passing, the purpose of her making sure that she noted to us that they shared drinks
Mhm.
is because that Venmo that was for Percocet allegedly,
Mhm.
and you know how the Percocet is out there. That's just like the Oxy 30s that are being spread around. Now they have like fentanyl in the Percocets that they give out there as well, I suppose, is what I've been told.
Wow.
And so what if that was put into Kylie's drink? Her cup, and she's just like, she's doing one of those, what is it called? Like a meridian slip or whatever, where they accidentally slip out things they don't want to tell you because they're nervous.
Yeah.
Because just like in all of her
My
interviews.
big thing.
Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
My big thing is the fight. There's a reason why they censored that name.
Let's see. The fight.
It's like AWP.
Yeah, when Doug said Kiely something Kiely versus blank.
Yeah, I don't think
covered his
anybody's
mouth,
actually
where you
figured that one
cannot
out either.
read the lips.
That's what we were doing over on Crime Lines and Lies when I was over there with Brooks. We were trying to count the syllables, and it seems like a longer name, but it could be. It seemed like it was the Magdalena.
It's a 3-syllable. I had Brittany, I had Brianna, and then other people, which made sense. Samantha.
Yeah, Samantha. So that could be it, Samantha.
Sammy came away beat up. She had some war wounds. Now, is that just everyday,
her nails,
teen shit? Absolutely, probably. But
did you see her fingernails, Justin?
I did not. No.
Oh my heavens, they are like bloody and nasty around them, like to the point where she couldn't cover it up. I'll try to find that.
Sammy's? Really?
Yes. In the time that like she had all the paint, the day that she was like being a leader at the retreat thing for kids.
Oh, wow.
Over and being a cop. That's when her fingernails were like, oh, I mean, in rough shape. Did you see that and notice it, Mike?
Yeah, I noticed the man hands, I call it.
Well, I'm talking about just like the bloody, like the red, the nasty around her fingernails. Let me try to find.
That's why I call it man hand.
Okay. So like a
Looks like she was working on a construction site all day.
a mechanic, yeah.
The two I've always been focusing on, and in groups, I'm getting heat on it, but I could care less. One is it looks like Jagger in the blue light. It looks like it's a white hat, and it's got the long hair, but you can only see partial of the face and the hat and the hair.
Off to the right of the picture.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. The cap. Now the cap is kind of a netted cap, right?
Yeah. And then the other one was the guy clearly out there, and I'm looking like Jagger probably had to know him, or somebody had to know him. Like, that's a perfect identity. I call him the beanie guy. Who is the beanie guy?
Beanie guy.
The guy that looks 35.
I think he looks
35.
like this.
Got the little I call
mustache. He's got the rolling papers stuck in the beanie.
Look at the screen right now. Look at the screen. You see this photo of this dude with this weird hat, and then there he is up there above? Okay. That's an older photo on the bottom because he's in a photo with Kiely.
I can't see it.
Oh, you can't? Okay. Well, that sucks. I've got it up right now. And you won't be able to see it on the YouTube stream, I would say, but you could look at it right now on StreamYard, where we're at.
StreamYard, I don't see anything. I don't see YouTube.
Oh, no.
Well,
do you see it, Dustin?
Yeah, I see. Are you talking about the split screen, the redhead?
Yeah, okay, him. I think he looks like this guy. I think he's aged, and this is him. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but...
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's Mag's boyfriend.
Yeah, I know. And when Doug says that name, it does look like Magdalena.
And you think that's the same kid?
Two friends at the party in the back seat with them when they're charging phones. Two friends. And then when Doug says the name, it looks like he possibly say Magdalena. She left 10 minutes after she got there. She rode with Kiely. And it seems like Sammy may have rode with her too. And there was some conflict, it seems, because she's like, we were talking about the party. We didn't plan to go to the party together. We ended up not going together.
Right.
Did you catch that, Mike?
Yeah, I caught that. I was going to say on that picture that you had, because I've been waiting to screenshot that perfectly. Okay. Would you be able to send me that, and I'll do some little editing? Because one of them, you could see the little red goatee at the bottom of his chin. It's guy on the far end in the white hat.
And who has red hair that's a male that's around Kiely? This guy. This guy.
Yeah. And I want to know who these 30-year-old dudes are that decided, like, who decides to go crash a high school party when you're 30? Who does that?
And then you have 13. Then you have that's the beanie guy. Then you got 13 to 14-year-olds too.
Right. I mean, if I go to a party and I get there and there's 60% of the people I'm looking at cannot go buy me a beer, I'm going to turn around and get in my car and leave. I mean, who stays and just continuously drinks with teenagers when you're 30 years old? That's a bad idea all the way around.
Yeah. Somebody's talking here about SF.
About SF in the chat.
Yeah, hang on just a minute, Mike.
Oh, wait.
And they're basically just saying like they're taking up for him. It seems like a troll. It could even be him trying to cover his tracks because we're onto something about what he's in this for and the fact that he is being a grifter. The family actually has come out. They want him to leave them alone, apparently. And they do not support him over AWP as he has made people believe. He caused them to feel the way they did, in my opinion, with things that he said to them, making them think that he was careless with Kylie's case, her body, her car, and the whole incident.
Now, where's that come from, Brittany?
Comments. Like, there's quite a few people taking up for SF. And I think it's weird. I think it's weird that y'all come to my little channel and, come down on this because it's relevant and it makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. Why is he in this? He needs to just stop. The family don't want this.
Wait, let me see. Who's sticking up for SF?
No one at all. That's what it says. It's their name.
Did you
And
just
no one
say
at
that?
all is
Didn't you
actually.
just say that people were in the chat sticking up for SF?
Yes, yes, they are. They're
That's what
saying, like, you don't need license. Like, why is that what everybody's going to? Like, anybody can help and da 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 da. This man is in this for his own gain. It doesn't appear that he cares much about Kiely. And Mike, you're welcome to come back up. I don't know what happened there, but please come back up. I just had to address this because I feel that it's super irrelevant. Do you see them now, Justin?
I'm looking. I'm fine. And Sugar
Welcome,
said,
Chastity, baby. You're fine. I
if
would
you're
do
gonna hire a
it.
private restaurant, for the private to be acknowledged first. If you were working for the family and not the reward, I would think he'd not said a hot set. Right, like okay, Sugar Magnolia. That's a good point.
What'd they say?
Said that if you were going to hire a private investigator, I would prefer the private to be acknowledged first, which is a good point. You want your
Yes.
private investigator to be private, right? Okay. And not on Twitter, just kicking off tweets like left and right. And then it says, if he were working for the family and not the reward, I would think he would have not said hot set. Remember when he was talking about coming up on hot mics when he down on the beach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good point.
This person says, SF himself has had to say, he's had to, I guess, put out a statement that he's not allowed to talk about Kiely anymore because the family asked him, and now I guess rumors are starting. But I've been talking about this before then. Like, I started talking about this last week. I couldn't not think about it. It kept occurring in my mind. So I went ahead and made a community post, and then I seen a lot of content made about the very topic that I was talking about. But I felt that we all needed a break. Everybody needed time just to wind down and take in like the reality of what we're dealing with, who we're dealing with. And I feel that I have more clarity now. Don't you, Justin?
I do, yeah. I mean, yeah. Every day that goes by, once you decide, okay, I'm not gonna focus on all the bullshit, right? I want to clear my head of all the shit that doesn't mean anything that everybody's running around saying, and I want to look at this from a logical viewpoint, right? I just want to look at all the right. Exactly. I don't know if maybe it was an accident, maybe it wasn't an accident. I know that
if it could be proven,
some things make me lean towards one and some things make me lean towards another. And once you do that and you wipe away the dirt from the window, you start to see little bits and pieces that make things clearer, but you gotta just decide not to listen to just the outlandish shit, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have to be honest. In the very beginning, I thought there was an accident and something happened to her. As I started to see the people around her and how they act and how attention seeking they are and how like weird they're acting in these things, the things they're saying, and like the fact that it seems as if some of them have rehearsed their lines and they get off track. BTC, I see you. I'm gonna bring you up. Give me just one moment. But what was I saying? Darn it. Where was I at, Justin? I'm so sorry.
I don't know. I was reading Sugar Magnolia
from the beginning. After I started to see that stuff, it did occur to me that this was something big, that this was going to be something that needed people like me, Justin, and all of you to continue to push for justice, because I felt right away these are like rich people that get by with things like just like the Murdoch case. I feel like these people out there are such a tight web with the sheriff and all these people, these authorities. I knew something was wrong, and I have not felt that way since I first started. I feel that she was harmed, and it's
watching this case.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. I just wanted to put that out there. I know I say not biased, but I am not biased. I feel this way from looking at things, from actually applying myself to learn more. Justin, so you're saying that you have tried to be unbiased and just one thing leads you one way and one thing leads you another. I'm sure we all feel that way. What about you guys?
I'm trying to use the formula that's really easy that was taught to me, that if you deal with the why and how, you get the who.
Yeah. Smart. That's true.
It's all cases.
Breaking up real bad. I can't hear him.
BTC, you can turn your camera back on and come up if you would like. I just don't have mine on because it seems to mess with the flow at times.
No, I don't want to be on camera. Most of the
Okay.
people watching have probably already seen me.
No, they didn't actually. No.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and nice to meet you guys.
You as well.
I've never been up on your panel before, Brittany, and nice to meet you, Data Funk, and just Mike.
You as
Listen, I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
I've been all of you actually, not just the guys. I've been following this case for a while, 3 or 4 weeks, I think, and I want to know what you guys think about what Doug said about the roads. Yes, we all know, if you've looked at Google Maps, there's 2 roads running from the north to the south, right? To that point.
Yes.
Where the car supposedly went into the water.
Yes.
The road to the east is the rough road that other channels have posted people driving down and been like, oh, there's no way going any more than 5 miles an hour. And then the road to the west, the one that Doug said from AWP that you could totally do 25 to 35 miles an hour down because it's a paved road. And both of those roads basically lead to the same place.
Well, what I understood when he said it is that most of the roads are paved. However, the road that led to where Kiely was so rough and not paved, and it's a dirt road, and it's like really, really rough. That's what I heard him saying on Popcorn Planet today.
Well, where were you going with that? Go ahead.
Where are you going?
Okay, where I was going with that was that they took both those, they drove on both those roads, because he said that they almost flipped over their RV on the road to the east, and he was saying that they didn't have a problem on the road that was to the west, right? Yeah. See, both of those roads they lead into each other, and they meet at the point where Kiely's car went in. And I can't help but wonder because the statement that he made about, well, we'll release another video, or another 2 videos if a certain outcome comes out. And everybody's been running with, well, that'll be, oh, I'm sorry, what?
It would be based on what the police do.
Mike, I think you need to go out and come back in, baby. It's really choppy.
No, I think I know what he's saying, and I'll just go ahead and say it while if he goes out and comes back in.
Yeah, what do you say?
If it's not the same thing you believe in, please just try to get along.
Well, yeah, no. I think what he's saying is, because I believed that too. Like listen, I flip flop back and forth daily. You can ask my girlfriend; she'll tell you. Right. Day by day, I go back and forth between accident or foul play. But I can't help but wonder, I can't help but wonder why, like that, the way he stated that about the road didn't come out beforehand. You know what I mean? Like
that was something he gave to that channel. I understand. He's done that on every single podcast almost. Gave a different clue.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. I've been
watching them all, and I've found out new things almost from each video. And then Nick going on panels as well as Jared, I've gained information from each one of them to put my theory together. Like, I don't know if that's what you're saying, but that is
so. All right, so I want to follow. I'm gonna follow this to the end. So, okay, go ahead. So everybody took, what he said about, well, if a certain event happens, and everybody just took, well, basically if Jagger gets arrested or if whoever gets arrested, that there's going to be another video. You're saying that the other video could have something to do with these 2 roads. What do you think?
Well, I'm just, the only reason I latched on to that was because if you look at their other videos, a lot of those videos they don't involve foul play. They're actually accidents. That's the only reason I latched onto that. I went, what? Wait a minute. Why the hell did he say about the 2 roads? That was the only reason I was like, that's weird.
If was different.
I'm sorry.
I see what you're talking about. I just
Yeah, because didn't he say that he said it wasn't a wrong turn road?
yeah, he said it's impossible. He
Right.
said
Because
that road
they're
is
all
so
saying no, 90% foul play,
it's not it's not impossible. If you look at a Google map, it's totally impossible. It's totally possible to drive 30, 45 miles an hour right into the lake. It's totally possible to do that. So it's not an impossible. In fact, you don't even have to turn. That's the whole thing. You can drive straight into
was
it.
it the Popcorn Planet one? And what'd you say your name was? I'm gonna refer to you properly.
Oh, I'm Bedtime Clown. I don't know if it was Popcorn Planet. I can't remember which one that was. It was a few days ago.
Well, I seen it just today, what you're talking about, and that's the only reason I'm speaking on it. But what I heard from Doug was this: that all the roads out there pretty much are paved, and they're smooth and they're easy to drive on. However, the road that led to where Kiely was located was so bumpy and so like off of the, I don't know, off the map pretty much, I guess, that it was impossible for it to be an accident because of the roads, is what I understood.
That's not what I heard. That is not what I heard at all.
I'd like to play that clip for everyone to gain.
And that's okay. I think everybody hears something different when they interview.
Yeah,
I've talked to a lot of different people, and they're like, "No, that's not what I heard when he said that." And we could be listening to the exact same phrase.
What I heard was that he was describing the two roads that lead together to that point, and what Doug was saying basically was that the road to the west, if you look at the map, the road to the west is the paved road. The road to the east is the one that all the YouTubers have been driving down at night and going, oh, look how rough it is. Look at all these ruts, blah, blah, blah. And Doug was like, no, we drove down that road and we almost, yes, that road is rough. We almost flipped our over on it. But if you go to the road that meets, that wise into the point, basically, to the west, that road is paved. That's the way I understood it. Could be wrong.
See, I got to look at it on the map. I'm going to pull it up real quick if I can on my phone.
Yeah, pull it up on the map, dude. You'll see it.
I'm looking at it now.
Pull it on that.
I'm in Dallas, Texas, so I don't, I'm far fucking away from Northern California, but I mean,
me too. I'm in Carolina, so
yeah, I hear you.
Let's see. There's that Prosser Lake, right?
And Brittany, I'm sorry. I wish I could remember what channel and what interview that was on. I know it was last week. I thought it was Zav Girls, but I could be totally wrong about that, where he explained.
I'm going to actually get ready.
What channel just did the side by side?
Okay. I'm just going to screenshot this. Go ahead and take over, Justin, on this part, but no need to apologize to me. I'm looking for that interview now, and then we will all watch it so every single person can gain their own hypotheses on what it means.
Okay.
Okay. What do you need? You need me to jump down?
No, you take over talking.
Oh, I thought you were okay. I thought she was booting me out. Hold on.
No, I am searching high and low for this interview, the right one, because I know exactly what he's talking about, and I just want everybody to watch it so they can get their own,
Yeah, because he said the road to the west is like way smoother and paved and shit, and it leads right. And again, going back to their original video, when they said, well, we'll release more information or another video if A or B happens. And I couldn't help but after he said that about the road, I thought, wait a minute. Maybe he's saying that they'll show how it was a complete accident as opposed to foul play. After he said what he said about the other road to the west.
All right, here's the boat launch. All right, so I'm looking at it. Here's where she went in. It's the little Y. So envision that I'm coming out of the water, right? And there's that little bit of what looks like a road coming off of the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I'm watching the screen. So
can you can see this?
I wish I could see it.
No, I can't see anything. All I see is us four.
I'm going to start playing this for everyone to watch now. Eric is also looking, so we can listen through. I believe this is the proper interview that talks about the road. And no type of disrespect to you, Bedtime Clown, but I took it from what he said. I didn't even hear him really like trying to attach those two roads. From what I gained was that it was impossible, like I said. So I want to play it because he could be correct. And I just want us all to rewatch it together, and hopefully this.
Yeah, no. Go. Yeah, no.
I see what he's talking about. I see that. I see when he says it's not a wrong turn road because it's a loop.
But he's saying
that goes around.
Like it couldn't be even no matter what he's saying, because he also says before that when she sent the text, her mind was fine, that she wasn't so intoxicated that she misspelled anything. Everything was spelled correctly. He attached that with this, and then went on to talk about things that would not make it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want to play it, because maybe there's just something weird here. I don't know, but I want everybody to gain their own idea about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'm going to share out my screen. If you guys don't mind, just mute your mics just real quick, and then when we come back, we can come back up. No. I didn't mean mic. You need to get down. I mean turn your mic, like your sound down. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. So I should be sharing now. All right. We're going to go to this video. I believe it was the Popcorn Planet interview. Andy Signor, if you guys haven't ever been to Popcorn Planet, they covered the Johnny Depp case. And you'll also learn about Taylor Lorenz, the person that has been speaking to a few of us creators about Ryan Upchurch. I never liked her. I'll just tell you that, because of the way her tactics on Johnny Depp. But her tactics are effective. I can tell you that.
So there were media walls as well as law enforcement walls around particular family members. But Dad and Grandpa were there within 90 seconds of our notification. And as frustrated as they were very grateful. The range of emotions that they had on scene were tough. You got to understand that at that time, what we're doing is providing them the worst answer that you could be provided as a father, So the family knew what was going on every step of the way. And there's a lot of things I can't discuss, though.
I'm going to stop it there for just a moment, because I just want to mention, Popcorn Planet done this interview. It was done actually on the 2nd. I do believe this could be the proper one, because it was the last interview that I watched with Doug. So that should be the freshest in my mind. And anyway, it's just really important to hear what he says. But also here he is stating that the father and the grandfather that were there, like that they followed their protocol, like we've all said. And they deserve respect and not to be absolutely destroyed from somebody who's jealous or trying to get all the attention. That's just my personal view on this. And it's a very clear view. But the other thing, let's see, SF, what was I going to connect that with? Because SF had said this. Hold on. Let me show you guys this one more time, if I can find it. It just states in it, like, he makes himself out to be the hero, and like he had to deliver, let's see, is it going to show? Come on. Is suggesting I'm a fraud and wasn't the one put in a horrible position to notify Kiely's father and grandfather, and instead is accusing me. I will tell the actual. You want to know how that? Because he was out there searching, so was Check It. AWP were out there searching. The grandfather and the father, I guess, were on one side, and they got him to get him to come over to them so they could notify him. He did. That's the way I understood that. And he's just trying to make them look bad, it looks like to me, because they did follow their protocol. They proved that the next day when all that stuff got started, when he started all of his harassment towards them, they put out their video the very next day just to stop all of those comments.
Yeah, that
You don't have to touch on that. That's fine. We can finish. Let's just see the rest of this so we can hear about the road. I thought maybe you didn't feel comfortable speaking about it, and that's perfectly fine too. You do not have to.
Didn't Dad, the grandpa, and SF were up the campsite?
You're cutting out
Did
on
he say that? I was
Justin,
saying.
are you there?
Justin, are you there?
Oh no. I think where I'm sharing my screen, it's causing conflict. Let me stop for a moment. I'm messing with the cam. Oh my God. Stop. Okay. Are you guys there? No, Justin's off. I don't know. He must have dropped out. Come back up, Justin, whenever. Are you guys both able to talk and it's not like robotic? No, we've got problems. Can you guys like refresh? I'm
okay.
sorry.
What about me? Am I
You're good.
okay?
You're good. I can hear you. So what are your thoughts now? I mean, I think you had something.
Well, we never got to the issue.
Right. That's what I was thinking. But I thought you were. So it wasn't you that spoke up.
No. Well, I did have something to say about SF investigates shadiness, but it's fine.
Right. Okay. Well, I thought I just got the vibe like that you didn't want to touch on it, and I don't want anybody to talk about anything they don't feel comfortable talking about. So if you have something to say, you're more than welcome.
No. I just it's that dude is really strange to me. He's really weird. So, but I don't want to,
Right,
I've followed his tweets too.
You've seen his mess that he's created.
Yes. And that guy, first off, he doesn't even speak close to the way on Twitter that he does on YouTube.
Oh yeah. He's one of those, like computer warriors, keyboard warrior, and then you see him in person.
Yeah. How does he have time to even? He spends so much time on Twitter. How does he have time to even be a private investigator? That's what I want to know.
He's not a private investigator, but he calls himself one. He made the insertion to people that he was hired by the family. The family did not hire him. He harassed them. They're asking him to stop. He ain't even allowed to talk about this no more.
Yep. And he's sitting there and the other thing too that bothers me is that he's claiming that he's like backing up that this Check It TV.
Yes, they're like a team now, like Batman and Robin.
Yes, and that they they're with the grandfather, and the grandfather is verified about the laptop and all that. And I was like, I'm sorry, until I see video proof of that, I'm not buying that shit. Sorry,
right.
Not doing it.
It's not that I think they planted anything or that anything isn't really hers or that they read. It's not even that. It's their intent on all of this. It's the way they went about every single thing, how they've inserted themselves as if they are the FB friggin' I. Ugh.
Yeah.
So you all get the same vibe from it. It is filthy. It's nasty. He's a grifter and it needs to stop.
Let's see. Is just Mike's mic working?
Yeah. Are you good now?
I was just
you're still chopped up. I don't know if it's our connection from maybe, I don't know, but I'm sorry. Because you had so many good points and I appreciate everything you've sent me, Mike. Do you have a YouTube pulled up tab? That could be causing out here like a echo.
I was going to say, if you'll repost the link in the chat, I'll go out and come back in and see if that fixes it.
Oh, you don't know. You should be good on your end because you're completely clear.
Okay.
So that wouldn't even help. But I do appreciate it. I'm going to put the link in the chat again for you, Mike, and hopefully it'll refresh and it won't do this to you. I pray. Because I want everyone's opinion. Okay. So I'm sorry to everybody watching. I know this takes a moment to stop talking about things, but it's important. I want to be good to you guys because, that's just. Go ahead. I can't understand anything, Mike. I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you. I think he's going to go out and come back in. I got sounded that way. All right. But Bedtime Clown, I'm going to share out my screen. We're going to play more of this video because I'm hoping that it is the proper video to show the road comments.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You guys should be seeing like a weird, crazy screen. All right, now here we go.
I'm going to mute while you play that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
And to be clear, I want to say, because I'm not trying to do a gotcha here. We just had this conversation. I didn't want people to criticize. Andy, you didn't say I had an issue with this moment with the phones, and I really appreciate my issue is now gone because you guys addressed it when apparently the family or somebody reached out and you immediately removed it.
See, this is addressing what we're talking about today. This is where SF starts harassing and demeaning and defaming AWP for his own gain with the family, trying to look like he is in cahoots with that family when they don't want anything to do with him.
And I say bravo. Yeah. There's no longer an issue about it in my eyes because that's what you guys do. You respect the families, you do it all. And to Doug's credit, there's a moment with the father still in there where I see you like advise him, like, just get out of here, dude. Like, we're filming, like, don't let this be the memory. The moment is sort of how I like that moment. And he does. And that way he can have his privacy and do it while it's there, He says, I think it's like, this is how I don't want this to be my last moment, right?
Right. Yeah. So usually at this point in one of our recoveries, if family is on site, we usually have that talk of, this is typically not something that you want to stick around for. And then he was vibing right there with me. And
does this feel like the right interview to you?
No, I honestly, I think it's Doug's interview with Zav Girl. I could be wrong, but I think
I didn't really watch that one. That's
I think
the
it's
thing.
one with Zav Girl. The one he did was Zav. I think she only has him on for,
and I've heard that statement that you're talking
maybe
about.
like an hour and a half or so. I don't know. You'll have to check the chat. I can't see the chat. So
okay, guys, all of my people chatting. Do any of you know which interview it is where Doug is talking about the road?
he talks specifically about the road. Roads, actually. He talks about both roads.
Yeah, that last statement that you made about it, though, where Doug stated that, no, they're saying it is on Popcorn Planet. I believe it is because I didn't watch the last Zap Girl interview with him. I know I didn't.
It is on Popcorn. I'm not subscribed to Popcorn, but I did watch this interview, so it very well could have been this one. Right. But I could have sworn it was Zav's that he mentioned about the road to the west. And
we can watch it. Also, I mean, pieces of it. I'll just kind of guide through it.
No. I got no problems with that. Okay. I very well could be wrong. Listen, there's been a lot of it's been a lot of interviews,
material.
Right?
Yes, there's so much material right now that people can go through and sleuth through. It's insane, and that's why I'm concerned about everyone, and that's why I've been preaching about, take a moment, take a deep breath, get offline, listen to some music. Just think about something else for at least a few hours, because this stuff is heavy and it does affect people. It does. You'll not notice it. And the next thing you'll know, your life's kind of falling apart because you're so tied up in something that's very negative and heavy and hurtful and just sad. I mean, I'm not like a life coach or anything, but I have been through the YouTube cycle and been done like bad. And I know how all of this stuff can affect a person. So I want to listen to more of this interview if you guys don't mind, because I don't know how many people have heard this interview and it's slightly different. There's always something new. It's a good interview. It really is. Popcorn Planet's pretty professional, actually. All right.
He said the same thing. That's not something he wanted to remember. And, he chose to take his memories of his daughter, the way he lived them instead of what was being portrayed, what was going to happen there in those next few moments, which is critical. The last thing you want to do is remember your 16-year-old daughter that way.
Absolutely. So I appreciate you addressing all that. I think that helps smooth it. Lewis, I want to get you now in the conversation.
Even to the point like
arming when you're not only not in the back seat, but you're in the back cargo area, and the vehicle was found upside down. So, I mean, just put all those factors in together, and you also know we have multiple windows that are either open or halfway down. We're talking about a very, very tiny young girl. I mean, that's open for a lot of assessment there. I think it's alarming. Absolutely.
Lewis, I want to go to you. What do you want to ask Doug?
Well, first, Doug, thank you and welcome to Popcorn Planet here and stuff.
I don't want to skip everything that is important.
Stories that are seen in people's minds, and everybody's filling in the blanks. There's nothing about that situation that's fake.
Bless you.
There was a party there. I can tell you that there was upwards of 400 children at that party. This is a senior send-off.
He's telling us that there was up to 400 people at that party, and they can verify it.
Really massive party. Party wasn't fake. Nothing about it was fake. you know, just because there's information that is not out there. It's heavily protected. You're talking about juveniles, you know, so the lack of pictures.
Not only are you talking about a minor, a girl that's 16 years old, you're talking about like a lot of deep shit. So what he's saying here is really important.
I said lack of evidence that the public isn't seeing is protected because they have to protect those juveniles. And also,
plus this is just like a month in. Let's see. So August the 5th and the 6th, and today is September the 13th. So it's a month old, and people are expecting to have everything already. It just takes time. Like this stuff, it drips out, and it's like a slow drip. And it does feel like you're never going to be able to figure things out, or you can't help, but we can help. We can help by continuing to talk about it, continuing to bring Kiely's name into the spotlight. That's what we have to do. And the fact that she deserves justice. Regardless of what happened, something happened. And it's really unfortunate. And just by what they say, you can tell that they knew as soon as Nick laid eyes on this little girl that something was not right. So that tells you a lot. They're the only people that saw it that way. The police won't never get to see that scene underwater. Nobody will ever see it like they did, like Nick did. He's seen everything just sitting in the, you know what I mean? It's like a steel almost. It's just, the water is like holding time. It's like a time capsule.
And it was the first time.
Aren't cooperating. You know, these are children that are going off to college, and their parents aren't letting them talk because they don't have their attached. Which,
it's okay. God bless you.
When you boil it down, it's understandable, but it doesn't help this case one bit. So, you know, the party definitely existed, and nothing about this is fake. You know, all the other conspiracy theories and, you know, the Anne Hesh stuff that's, you know, attached to it.
That person didn't even know anything about.
Just regular internet stuff, and anything like this happens.
So
I'm not gonna say I'm using that as my in there, Lewis. I'm not gonna hate on people. I know you don't like to hate on people, but
I know who you're talking about, and I mean, look, you know, everybody's trying to find answers. Everybody's trying to find out the why. I mean, I don't blame him one bit. I mean, this is a rabbit hole that everybody went down. But I mean, we know.
Still trying to be very respectful.
He's just trying to find answers, man. You know, and if he can use his platform to do so, or to debunk what is happening, I mean, that's you know, it is what it is.
Well, that's fine. He's trying to find answers. I'm just against, you know, accusing random YouTubers and stuff like
yes.
that. That's the part that
bullying and
the people who think that no one is talking about what Ryan is doing, the people who think that we haven't spoken to NBC journalists and TMZ, we have. We may not be broadcasting it or plastering it all over everything. We tried that, and that just don't look good. What we have to do is just mention, go look at this. Look at the harm that this is causing, and this person needs help. That's all you got to do. And people care. There's always going to be somebody that will cover that story, and hopefully it will influence that person to seek help, because then when mainstream picks it up, that's a big deal. You know, that's how people see things. It's insane, but it's a reality.
Hang on, guys. I'm looking through the transcript of the Zav girl one. I'm confident it's the Zav girl one.
Okay.
So I'm looking through the transcript to try to find it, and I'm gonna mute until then.
Okay, just pop in and let me know, and then I'll end this interview, because I felt it's important to watch this one too, because this one explains a lot about Ryan.
Yeah.
How they feel about it. It explains the father situation with SF, and it debunks him completely. Shows he's just a piece of shit that wants to ride this wave.
Yeah.
Not saying you like sending haters over. It's not a good look. And we're saying things are fake, or, you know, GoFundMe scams. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I understand it happens, but I don't know. I think we as creators, we are trying to do good work. We are trying to be better. And I'm all for going down the rabbit hole, but I don't know. I do think there's a line sometimes. And I was enjoying his rabbit hole searching. I felt he crossed the line, and it really upset me. And then he never really owned it. But I don't want to fight with you, but I appreciate your point of view. You're being smart and being diplomatic. I don't hide my feelings on people I don't like, so it is what it is. But I appreciate you at least addressing it. Lewis, what else did you want to ask?
Mental health. because obviously Nick was very, that was not acting at all, man. Like,
guys and how they're processing it. And as far as this is positive, this is case or not, because when we're telling somebody's story, like I'm saying, being a voice for the voiceless and fighting for somebody who can't fight for themselves anymore, telling that story has a lot of power for us because of our
Listen
reach.
to this.
And in doing so, we put the episode out and we'll end up solving it because we didn't solve it at first from the information that comes in from it. You know, so the positives from what we do, how we do it each and every step of the way, I can say that doesn't affect us like that one bit. We are focused, we are laser focused, and I can't, if I didn't have a family, if I didn't have a wife and daughters to come home to, I'd be doing this 365 days a year. It's powerful. It's powerful. And the what you get being able to do this is it's very emotionally and mentally rewarding. It's not taxing at all.
I'm glad you brought that up. How do you find the balance between that? I mean, we're going to get back to Kiely, have some more things, but you just mentioned the fact that you have a family of kids. Like, this is tough work you're doing, right? On that lake, and then cruising through the super chats. I see you. We'll get to all of them by the end, but I'll see if there's pressing one to ask. Lewis, you go.
Well, I don't know. I don't. Everybody's painting the picture that it was some type of boyfriend or somebody. I don't know who the guy was, and I can tell you that there's a lot in that interview that
was our photo
for us to deem it credible.
No,
or we would not have ever filmed that interview. Like I said, we do everything that we can with integrity in order to respect not only the case that we're working, but us and ourselves as well. You know, he displayed all the characteristics of somebody that was being honest. And we don't have to go into all those different things. I was watching for all of those different things, and you know, I thought that he was credible in you know, sense that he's part of our story. The world needs to know why we're starting, where we're starting, how we're starting, as we do with any case. You know, we're not here to hype anything up, fake anything, and we didn't know where this was going to go. We're just, hey, we just arrived in town, and this just happened. This is all organic.
That's insane to hear that. Like it's exactly what we've been saying. They done what they done so that it would like isolate this whole situation so that it was impossible for people to get away with things. They've got more food, and it's like they're holding it over the police. Actually, instead of people like, I think they have it, so the police have to tell the true story. They have to give us the realistic thing that happened to Kiely, because if not, these men have footage and proof. You know, that's the way it seems. Not, baby, I love you. Do any of you have any comments on what we've watched so far? I don't know where Justin went. He's in the chat, it appears. And some people are saying it could be on Zav Girls. And then he's going to be on.
The only,
what'd you say?
I said the only question I have is, how did cadaver dogs not sit there?
Say that one more time, Just Mike. You're still cracking up, but I can actually hear you.
I was saying, how is it not possible for the cadaver dogs? No.
The cadaver dogs.
How can the cadaver dog not sit near that spot?
How can they not sense and find her? Is that what you're saying? How did they not find her in the lake? I don't think she was there. I think they took her back and put her in after the search by FBI and officials. That's what I believe wholeheartedly. I believe that she was hid out either at a junkyard or over on Hallelujah Junction, out on that dirt road, those back haulers that are way away from the freeways. That's what I believe. I believe she was hid out there and then later put in. And I wonder what there wasn't a tow truck involved. I think that he's just a piece to this puzzle, just like Doug just told us. I feel you on that. But your mic, your sound, your audio that's coming through is like really robotic, Mike. I don't know what we can do to fix it, but I can only hear a couple words, and I'm sorry.
Hold on. I'm not great.
But you're welcome to come up anytime. We need to do some practice runs and try to figure out what's going on with your audio. I thank you for coming on and talking with me, though. Hopefully next time it'll be a little better.
All right.
Thank you so much.
I got my better headsets on. Can you hear me?
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I just can't hear Mike at all. He's just, well, it's robotic, and hopefully maybe he can get it fixed. We'll have to do some.
Okay. I
Go
think I found it.
Okay.
Let me read through it just for a
Can you
minute
put
and
the-
see.
Can you put the link in the chat?
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on. Let me read through this and make sure I've got the right thing. He's talking
Okay.
about the ruts in the road. So let me read through it. My girlfriend's getting her laptop
Okay.
so I can actually control F this thing instead of looking at it on my phone. But
Okay.
I think I'm right on top of it. Give me just
Cool.
1 minute.
Okay, go ahead. Well, guys, that interview, if you have not watched all of it, if it isn't, I'm pretty sure he might talk about the roads in it. I was really hoping to find out. I asked Eric to help me. I don't know if he's come up with anything. Eric, did you find that interview? Huh? Oh my goodness. Okay, so Eric didn't find it either, but I just kind of am curious of what your thoughts are on what we've seen so far. And thank you so much, Tash. You're doing such a good job modding for me and stuff. If you guys would like to support the movement and help me be able to get the funds to go out to California and do my own investigation for us live, then you can send support to my Cash App. It's the money sign Brittany, BRITTANY, Lou, LOUU, 2 U's, or Venmo.
Okay.
That's all going across your screen. I'm serious about this. Otherwise, I'm not worried about any monetary gain. This is not that for me. This is like a passion that I just cannot let go of. All right. What did you find, Bedtime Clown?
Okay. It's definitely, it's between 13 minutes or
Okay.
maybe 12 minutes to, let's see, let me scroll. I'm scrolling.
Which video? Is it Zav's or is it?
It's Zav Girls. It's 3 days ago.
Okay, hang on. I'll go find that.
Hang on a
Thank you
second.
for doing this as well, because that's important and it's something
Yeah.
nobody discussed.
3 days ago, and the title is Interview with Doug from AWP plus a personal thank you to AWP.
Okay.
Let me go back to the transcript. Like I said, maybe start at like 13 or 14 minutes in. Maybe
Okay, let me
13.
find it. Interview with Doug from AWP plus a personal thank you. Okay, I found it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
you
anyway,
should see Doug, you should see Autumn Renee, you should see Tyler Feller on the screen and Zav Girl.
Yeah. I actually remember this interview. That's weird. Amanda Vita's in it too, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, what
And
time? Tell me what time stamp.
I would start at 13 minutes and go from there, because
Okay,
he
I'm
starts
smart.
talking about the and this is what I was talking about, is he starts talking about the conditions of the two roads. Like if you look at the map of Prosser Lake where her car went in,
Yeah.
where like they basically Y around the party area. I thought the party area was actually across to the right, to the east. But apparently I'm wrong about that. Apparently it occurred right to the north. The east side is the campground side, which I thought the party occurred in, but apparently it didn't. That's where people were camping and could confirm to law enforcement that there was a mass exodus at midnight. Right?
Exactly. At 12:30.
Yes. Right. So like I said, go to 12, 13 minutes and start from there of Doug talking, and you'll hear hear what he has to say about those
Just
two
remind
roads that come in from the north and lead to the south, and they
Yeah.
both converge and end up at where her car was.
You see, you just mentioned the 12:30 Exodus. Okay, the TikTok
Yep.
that I need to bring up that Zav has, I got permission to use. The photo
Okay.
comparison for the car location, and then the possible guy that might have her in his arms. Can you all hold me responsible for this? I need to go back, look at that TikTok. I looked at the date. So the date is perfect. It would have been after midnight up there. And I'm wondering if it wasn't when they were all fleeing. And that would make so much sense. That would mean that photo that was taken most likely was at the time they would have been doing something with Kiely, the time they were all leaving. I need to look back at the TikTok.
Okay. Right, but okay, so I haven't seen this. Well,
This is
or maybe I have.
speculation. This is me, what I
I'm
think.
not
So
sure.
it's not
But
fact.
if you're talking about the same photo that we've all been looking at for weeks and weeks and weeks,
We cleared it up. I don't know if you've seen that.
well, my personal opinion is
Yes.
that's the moon reflection on the water. That I
Oh,
mean,
well, there's no
I'm
water
just
even
saying.
close to this spot on the map because Zav Girl,
Oh,
she
okay.
and I
So
went over
maybe
this,
it's a
and it's
different.
a location way away from the water. That's with a parking area. The photo is in the parking area, same parking area where Sammy pointed, same place where Check-It was
Okay.
parked. And then we have a
Gotcha.
clearer version where you can see
Okay.
a man right in front of the silver object, and he has something in his arms there. I don't know if you see that. But this is the still shot from the TikTok. And I mean, it is my opinion. It's my speculation. I'm the one that's been looking at this and wondering with several other creators. Here is that, and that is a silver SUV, and it appears to be the same location when you're watching the whole TikTok. That's what I want to be held accountable for. Not that it's factual. I am currently researching this theory. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know it might not be, but it could be. And if it is, it's important. And I'm not going to stop working on that very thing because my attention's been like on a lot of other things lately, but that's so important. So you need me to share this. And I'm glad you brought this up again, like I stated. We're going to be watching this interview with Zav because he says this is where they talk about the roads. There may be other interviews as well. I don't know, but since we got this one, we're going to listen, and we're going to start right here. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this one started like 13 minutes, and he'll talk about it.
That we're providing, and that's what we focus on, no matter what we're doing.
Was there indication? Like, I know if there's a continuum between foul play and accident, it seemed to me the way that the documentary you guys created was leaning towards foul play. Is that where you still stand?
Yep.
See? Yep.
Yep. You know, when things don't add up, they don't add up. Too many coincidences become evidence. You know, some people say, oh, circumstantial stuff. You know, coincidences, when they add up, circumstantial things add up, you know, they become overwhelming. So at this point, I'm beyond 50-50. Absolutely. Could this be an accident? You know, they could come out and say that, but no one's going to believe it. I mean, it's tragic. You know, there's upwards of 400 children at that party, and she's found not too far away, and nobody knows anything. This isn't a wrong turn road either. This isn't even a road.
This isn't a wrong turn road either. This isn't even a road.
Path with huge ruts in it.
It's got huge ruts in it. This is the interview I was talking about. Yep.
So it's not.
So it's the same one. So when did you see this and notice this? A couple days ago when it was released on the 9th, or recent?
Yes, I saw this the next morning after it was released, but I'm not sure if he was talking about the road to the west right before or right after
him talking
this.
like east and west. I just remember him talking about the paved roads and then the dirt roads. So that's why I want to listen to it again because I could have heard it wrong.
Yeah. No, I got you. But he definitely describes the road to the west.
Though, what I want to know what you so like what's your theory on all of that? What he said here, what does that drive you to think he's saying? So that way we can all try to figure it.
Yeah. No. I'm with you. So I've gone back and forth. I have flip-flopped back and forth between foul play and accident with this. Okay. So they've said that they will release another video or 2 videos or whatever, right? If certain things come out without saying at all what those certain things would be. And I flip-flop back and forth. Was this an accident? Was it foul play? The way he describes in this video, whether it's a couple minutes before what you just listened to or a couple minutes afterwards, I'm like,
that conversation right here.
I'm sorry, what?
What I just played, this very last part, it's the beginning to the conversation that you've brought to our attention.
Yes. And I'm like, wait a minute.
That's why I started at 12 minutes, because I knew he stated before that he felt that it was not an accident.
They literally could be saying that she could have very well, because in other live streams, I had been saying, well, if she, I have a boat, okay? And a boat is not a car. I get that. But, you know, you put that boat out at a certain speed or whatever, and it goes a certain amount of feet in the water, right? Same thing with a car. Well, if you can only drive that car at, 5 miles an hour down a bumpy ass road that's a CRV that has, very limited travel, and just like Ryan said, the steering wheels, you're basically hitting yourself in the face and all that. But then wait a minute, there's another road that leads into the same, water right next to it, literally running parallel north to south, that's paved. You can do 25, 35 miles an hour on it, 40 miles an hour. And that very same thing isn't going to be happening to you. Okay. I don't know.
So you're saying you're just kind of trying to flip flop back and forth to figure out what you think he means by this. In my opinion, it's different than maybe yours. I think that he's just this whole time that they know something we don't know, which is clear. They do. They know everything basically, and we don't. That's why I think these interviews are important individually, because when you listen to them, you get a new a new factual like puzzle piece, and it begins to put the story together, in my opinion. But I respect other opinions as well, because I feel so passionately about this. I've lost a child, and I know that feeling. I do not know how it feels to lose your child in this way at this age, and this type of like scrutiny and insane, like people involving themselves. No, I don't understand. I don't know what that feels like, but I can imagine it. I know what that hole in your heart feels like. And I know what it's like to have to be that strong. And I know that sometimes we don't react the way that other people may think that we should. We may not go to certain things that people think we should be at. We may not talk to people when people, you just react differently to the loss of somebody that close to you, a part of you. I understand that.
Right.
And I guess that's why my opinions are the way they are. I pay close attention to everything. I have OCD. I have quite a few different things. And I think that actually helps me in the career paths that I've taken in life, as well as my, putting my input in on these cases to try and help when I'm like totally across the United States. So I value each opinion.
Yeah, but you, Brittany, you and I both know. I mean, I was around when all that shit went down, over a year ago, on your channel and all that. And, look.
That's fine. You can talk about it.
No. At the end of the day, I'm not personally, but that's, that's not between you and me. Right. They've got me blocked for a reason, I guess, but whatever. But regarding this case, okay.
Absolutely.
I kind of feel like, well, like I said, I flip-flop back and forth between whether it was an accident or whether it was, foul play. And to me, we, just like they say, we're not going to release any information until November 1st. We're all going to have to wait. We're just going to have to wait.
But I do believe what we're doing is helping. That's like what AWP said. What they've got and what they're getting from all of us, it fills in all the blanks, so they will most likely, solve this case. And I believe that. They're watching channels, like they have people working, and I believe that that's what's going to happen. I think that all of us plus them pushing for justice, that it will get it. There's no way that they can get by with lying to us, no matter what happened. But let's play this piece. And I thank you. And I don't know your opinions on what happened in the past or anything, but I just want to state that I am a wholehearted person, and I try to lead by love. That may sound insane. I can be frisky. And a year ago, I was like mourning all kinds of things. Like my whole life was flipped upside down, and I clung to you guys. You were my family, and what happened wasn't right.
A year ago, you got treated like shit. That's what happened.
I know. I got done dirty. And it was like, how do you even explain that to YouTube? I've been talking with them. I'm not banned. They had to fix things because there was things done that were really misleading, and like I've never seen things like that happen to anyone else. But I've had to build a fortitude around myself coming back to do this, and it really wasn't easy. But I'm here, and like I said, I've forgiven everyone. Not that I want to be close or friends or even talk, but I've forgiven them. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
been through so much.
forgive and move on. I mean, just
Exactly.
don't, just don't do. I
Absolutely.
saw your community post a couple days ago
Yeah.
or a week ago. Yeah, just don't.
When I
Just don't.
mentioned it, I said it wrong because what really happened, I forgave and they forgave. That's how it went. And for whatever reason, I said forgive. Or
Yeah.
let's see, how did I say it?
Well,
Like apologize, but no, it was forgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, you may have forgave, but they don't forgive shit. So
That's fine. That's fine. But at the same time, like when you look, I had the least, like it was just all assumptions really. So it is what it is. I'm thankful that I do watch what I do in life, and I'm really honest about who I am. I don't present myself as anything I'm not, and that's the problem. That's what happened a year ago too. I exposed somebody who was pretending to be someone they weren't. They were making themselves closer to something than they actually were. And I actually knew people that knows things, and those people knew that person was not anything. So that helped me to figure things out. And I just don't agree with that at all. I think it's bullshit. And when somebody does that, that's alarming. That means they've got issues. They need help.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's move on. And that was actually a separate part to what happened. So anyways, let's watch this together, you guys. And I appreciate the support. I love you guys. But
Hey, so are you starting the Zav Girl video?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's get this roads thing discussion going. Oh, this is not it. This one is. Okay, here we go, you guys.
Not a mistaking turn. This is where the vehicle was found. Is unless you're there and you're able to drive on that path and understand the road and how it hits the vehicle. When I drove our RV down the road to get to there, it was wobbling and almost turning over. There were several times I almost rolled it over and flipped.
Wow.
It. So I mean, this isn't I just made a wrong left turn, didn't realize I made a wrong left turn. It's a beautiful paved road in and out of the campground.
In and out of the campground is the beautiful paved road. Let's write that down, you guys. In and out of the campground is the paved road. All right.
Well, that's in my opinion, that's not what he said.
Right. But I'm going to write down another point in a moment that goes along with the other.
Okay.
So I just want to note what roads are paved in and out of the campground.
So yeah, if you keep going, you'll see he's talking about the paved road being the what he's talking about right now. He's talking about the road that's to the east, that's what I was
saying. I never heard east or west.
Well, yeah, none of them actually describe it that way.
Right.
None of them. You have to go to the map to look at it
for yourself or go there. Right.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. All right, let's see what he says.
So
rough dirt road, it sounds like.
Yeah, this is one of the worst accidents ever, or it's definitely foul play.
So you're like 90-10.
This has just turned into a rabbit hole for everybody. It really has. And I think out of the goodness of everybody's hearts, they just want answers. They're just trying to figure things out. And I'm definitely majority thinking that it's, there's a lot of suspicion in areas there shouldn't be.
In law enforcement,
there's a lot of areas there shouldn't be. Does that mean law enforcement as well?
I have no idea.
I believe so. I think that's why they done this whole documentary, so that he held them to having to do the right thing. That's what I think.
I mean, you may not be wrong about that.
Could be though.
Honestly, it's more about the road for me. But.
Okay, let's go for it.
Told them, the details of the car and what you were thinking. Did they have any suspicion, or what did they say?
They're playing it really tight to the vest.
Law enforcement's playing it tight to the
lack
vest.
Of response publicly explains it all. I think their response the other day saying that they're not going to respond again until November says it all. Why wait so long? Obviously, if they come forward and announce they suspect foul play, there comes a whole.
If they thought this was an accident, I think we would have heard about it. I think that it could be, but I'm not. Let's just listen.
Another level of pressure publicly on, okay, who is it? Who's your suspect? So they're not going to do that. So they're giving themselves some time to do it the right way,
which is good.
And I think the fact that they're willing to drag this out so long, says a lot.
So on the video, I noticed her dad seemed a little suspicious when you told him that she wasn't in the driver's seat. She was in the back. Did you get a chance to talk to him? And did they thank you? Did her parents thank you for finding you?
Dad and Grandpa were so humbly thankful for what we did. There's so.
And again, this was titled about SF. Yeah, he's been misguiding, misleading the public this whole entire time, trying to make himself more than what he is, just like I was saying before. And they were respectful and thankful for what AWP done. I believe that that Lindsey had been misguided by these fraudulent private investigators.
So much that we could not put in our episode, the exchange between the father and grandfather and I, because of the things that were talked about in relevance to the.
Do you hear that? They couldn't, there's things that they had to take out between the father and the grandpa, like a lot of footage, because of the things they were discussing. So are they discussing facts about this case, like things that happened, things they were aware of that they think are weird? I mean, we don't know exactly, but I believe we'll find out.
What may or may not have happened. And he was extremely frustrated when he got there. And we did show a little bit of that. There was no hiding that. But he was very grateful. Him and grandfather were extremely grateful that we were able to find Kiely. As much as that is ending hope in that scenario, really strong-headed, and they're not.
Okay,
Guys,
so we've got
stop
that
getting
opinion.
ripped
I'm
off
going
by
to
your
skip
car
through and try to find
insurance
the road
company and check
comment.
this out. Okay, are you ready? All right, so let's take a.
However, I am glad that we
They're not gonna
heard
give up
what we've
until they have
heard.
answers either.
Nevada County made a statement. I don't know if you saw that, Zab Girl, a few minutes ago, and just said, "Hey, just reminding everybody we are the leads on this case."
Wait, what did he say?
Wildfires like crazy and evacuating people, and so I could understand reminding everybody we are the leads on this case, and so I could understand why they were late to the scene to want to try to figure out what's going on there. I can understand why they're late to the scene to make a statement about it. Nevada County made a statement. I don't know if you saw that, Zab Girl, a few minutes ago, and just said, "Hey, just reminding everybody we are the leads on this case," and that was pretty much it. They didn't address it one way or another. Did they ask you to keep any of it quiet? Did you have to do a non-disclosure agreement? What does that look like?
No agreements, but we're not trying to, act unprofessional or disrespectful or compromise their investigation. So, we're choosing to be
good. Sad, thank you for letting me on. Ask a couple.
Did I ask him?
One question I had was, did you have any interaction with her mom?
Not directly.
Huh.
No, we did not. And I think that's one of the.
No, it was right around the time that he was talking about the.
Before. You think it was before 12 minutes?
And
it could have been, but it was right around the time he was talking about the. I thought it was after that he was talking about the RV.
We watched from 12 to 16, 17. So it must.
Yeah, I thought it was right after that, but I guess it could have been before. I don't know.
I'm going to try to find it. I'm so.
I know it's this interview.
Whoever that entity was that was in charge of calling those shots, I wasn't in that. I wasn't in that perimeter site. That is not, wasn't a good job, but for the type of experience they had, they did.
Why his face was that way, a little bit more in detail than what we know to be obvious.
So it's the words can't describe, what was going through his mind, what he's seeing, and it's tragic. We're looking for, as our channel has grown, we're now into being Nick's doing great. he's
the documentary you guys created was leaning towards foul play. Is that where you still stand?
I believe that he mentioned the roads in that comment that we watched at 12 minutes, like just right after it. And I believe that maybe that like breakdown of it was a different interview. I really do now at this point because I'm not finding it. I wish
I'm pretty sure it was Zav Girl's interview. I don't know.
Right. Well, what I'll do, I will go through it and try to find that location so I can share this with you guys because I'm not finding it like before or after, but I do remember what you're talking about. I took it a different way. I'm sure a lot of the people here in the chat have seen it too and probably have opinions. But I'm glad you brought that up. You know, I don't exactly agree with, I think, your theory. I don't think so, but that's okay. I'm glad you brought it to my attention, you know?
Yeah, no. I agree with that too. You know, me and my girlfriend, we go back and forth. You know, whether it was an accident or whether it was foul play. I mean, we've been, you know, we went from foul play to accident to foul play, back to accident, back to foul play, back to accident, at least for me. And, you know, I don't know. Based on what I'm sorry, go ahead.
This whole entire case is like so intriguing, so full of different like misinformation and people just wanting to get attention and fame from this, like trying to grow things, like even their music, naming their friggin' albums a girl named Kiely that's actually Callie, shit like that. It needs to stop. I'm so sick of it. I supported that person in the beginning. They did bring light to a lot of weird things, but then they just started going down these rabbit holes with absolutely no respect for anybody, especially Kiely Rodni. And that I don't agree with. And I think that people who act in that way with such a large platform, so reckless, that they need to be woken up. You know, hey, use your platform for better, for good, and stop harassing people and treating people badly because they're not you. And they're not famous and rich. It's insane.
Yeah.
And
I agree with that 100%.
And he's ruining some creators I love so very much. Not really ruining them, but just making them look bad. And it's not fair to them at all because, I mean, they're good people, you know?
Yep.
And they think he's their friend. Like, this is not funny. Like, stop it. It's not right. So that's just my opinion. And I don't want to see anybody that I care about hurt from just something so silly. Some guy that just thinks he's the bomb diggity dog. But did you have any other thoughts before we get ready and close down for the night?
No, I don't know if you can even hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
All right, because my girlfriend makes me use a different phone for StreamYard.
I got
and
you.
I've lost the actual stream, but yeah, no, I just, you know, like I said, I just can't help but wonder if she, because of what Doug said, even though we couldn't find the exact clip, I just can't help but wonder if she didn't drive in that lake by herself, you know.
Without clothing?
Listen, I've heard
several of them mention that.
I know. I've got a really close friend who lives in the UK who, you know, said the same thing.
Right.
But yet nobody here has said that. So I
mean, DWP, like Jared himself, Nick, like Doug, they've all made mentions to her being unclothed.
I know.
And they're the ones that saw her, you know, underwater, saw the scene, saw the way she was, saw how she was positioned in the vehicle. I just feel like they are the key to this, since they, you know, they witnessed something that no one else will ever see. When they pulled the car out, it was automatically changed. It was already disrupted, you know?
Right.
So they saw it you know, well, it had already been disrupted. Like you could tell, like somebody had, you know, done something. It's weird. It's almost like it was set up and staged on purpose. Like I think that it was brought there after, for example. I think that it was placed in the lake 3 to 4 days later. I think it was parked on Hallelujah Junction out there in the back roads. We had a caller that had mentioned that there was a silver SUV, abandoned out there for days, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously we wondered that too. Like
Right.
how the
That's a
hell
good
did?
question for you to try to figure it out.
Yeah. No, I know.
That'll answer if this, it just feels to me the clothing thing, if we could nail that down and just get them to state straight out the situation, which is, I know it's graphic, I know it's awful and it's triggering. And if you can't handle that, then I will make mention if we're going to be talking about anything of that nature or sharing anything that would be that explicit and that to the point. But, just those mentions of only a shoe on her body. And then the whole idea, like it did appear that she was bounded. That was the first two things I said as we were viewing that footage. And other people said the same things when they watched it. They saw the same thing. And then even 10 to Life Annie, I can't think of her last name, but it is Annie. I've confirmed that.
Yeah.
She asked Jared, hey, something about the decomposition, would the water being in the lake like that, would it cause the decomposition to speed up or slow down? And he answered that. But in the same question, she'd ask him what Kiely was wearing. Did she have clothing on? Was she undressed? He skipped that question. She doubled down and asked a second time. And that's when he answered and stated that she was only wearing one shoe. Now, the other interviews, I'm going to try to find each clip so we can play them, just to gather more information and more of an idea of what they saw and what they think. But it is coming off of their information. And to me, it's like this SF guy is so jealous he cannot stand himself because they have every piece to the puzzle that he wishes he had. And so he's discrediting them and making people believe that they're misguiding people for their own benefit. And I don't believe they would ever do that. Not ever.
Yeah. Well,
I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but they are more respectful than anyone I've ever met in my life. Like they are respectful to people that totally trash the shit out of them. And that just shows that they're real strong men, that they just don't give a, and not in a way of making them a bad person. That's the best people, the people that can just be like, whatever. You have to let things slide down your back and, go roll on. And they do that well. I don't even know how they do it, honestly. It's very respectful.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm more than willing to just wait until November 1st to see what.
Well, that's this is so fresh, and everybody's expecting every bit of the information right now. And I mean, I get you, I feel you, I want it too, but it's unrealistic, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's unrealistic if you let it be unrealistic, but I'm willing to let it go because they're not going to come out on November 1st and tell us, well, here's what we believe, happened.
I think that arrest will be made before November 1st. And November 1st, they'll just be explaining a few things and giving us the information from the toxicology and the autopsy. And then it'll go from there. Prosecution eventually. That's why they're building such a case. That's why they need all this time. They're gathering every ounce of information they possibly can, I believe. I think they've stirred the pot so the kids would act up. They may even have gotten warrants for their phones, for that phone transaction.
Well, see, that's what I believe is taking so long.
Yes, they're watching what these kids are saying and doing. They've done all that. I can guarantee you. I would say they probably have the footage and everything. I mean, that's why they're taking this much time, to ensure that they don't frig up like we're expecting them to do.
Yeah. Well, you've worked in the jail before. You know that to get a warrant and to get, a subpoena
have good information, good reason. And warrants are very specific. You cannot, there's a time frame you have to do it in. If you go outside that time frame, it completely screws their case up and the person gets out of it.
Well, I'm not even talking about just the warrant. I'm talking about the subpoena. Once you get the subpoena, that's 60 days.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot coming for these people, and they don't even see it coming. They think that they have outsmarted everyone.
So, well, all right, Brittany.
Thank you so much. Come on anytime. If you have a team, you can announce it.
Huh?
If you have a channel, you can announce it. I thank you for your opinions and your thoughts, and you and your girlfriend, you clearly have passion and care about others and want to see the truth come out in this case. And that's what we all want. We want justice for
Well,
Kiely regardless.
my girlfriend likes makeup and she likes to put on makeup. So if y'all want to come over here, y'all can just type in bedtime clown or voodoo queen and you'll find it eventually. But yeah, no, thank you for that. And yeah, thanks for having me up. Like I said, everybody was taking that statement from AWP like one way. And I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, wait a minute, take that the other way. Take that as if like it was an accident, and if law enforcement doesn't charge someone, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, we'll release a video to show how this, because if you think about it, 90% of their videos are not they're not homicides. They're accidents, and so it would make sense for them to say that, like, here's how she basically accidentally ended her own life. And I'm not saying I believe it's an accident,
Yeah, you're just saying that it's questionable, that people need to open their minds and think about this in different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you're saying. You're basically saying, like, just because it come from AWP and you think that they think one way, don't mean that they meant this statement that way to open up your mind. I understand.
Right.
I appreciate your input. I really do.
Yeah, and again, Brittany, thanks for having me up. And
you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
I really hate what happened to you over a year ago, and I hope you can move on from it.
I'm good now. It's just part of life, like things that happen, and I hold myself responsible for my part. I played myself right into it, being dumb and clueless, and it was, just as much my own fault because
I wouldn't say you were dumb and clueless. I would say those people were really fucking shitty people. That's what I would say.
Thank you. I thank you so much. And thank you for your support. I really do. All of you. It means a lot to me that people actually enjoy my input or get anything from what I do. And even to respecting me. I appreciate the respect. I will always give you respect back.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good night, and tell Eric I said, keep up the faith.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Keep up the good work.
We appreciate that. Hang in there.
All right, girl. You too.
All right. Toodles, darling. Thank you. Well, that was good. I mean, I have my own opinion. Other people have their opinions, and it's good to hear other people's thoughts on these things. Sometimes it'll open your brain to a whole different side of things. I still believe the way that I do. I still think that Doug, he stated that he felt this was not an accident. However, in the long run, we'll know the answer. I feel that they are taking the time they need to build a good case. I feel like I stated before, this is like what's going on with, I just want to say this right now. I do not support the actions and the absolute propaganda that is being spread by someone I know is super intelligent and capable. Like, you don't need to be doing this. Like, be respectful, I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't believe in hurting others for no reason. But at the same time, I believe in accountability. And when somebody has been talked to over and over, even by his supporters and fans and so on, and he won't listen, and he just continues to act out and call people names, call people fat cows and everything, like, it just shows you who you're watching, and it disproves the notion that they have given us over like 10 years. It's an act. And there's so many people out here on YouTube, creators that are doing that type of thing, and it's wrong. Just be yourself. Be honest. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Be who you are. You do not need to be, let me just make like a thing up here. You don't need to be Cher. You don't need to be Cher's first cousin. You don't need to be President Donald Trump or his 55th cousin to talk about something. You just need to be educated on it and understand. You know, thank you all for the likes. If you haven't liked this live stream, please do. I appreciate it. And subscribe if you're not. I know I'm like 50-50 or it was pretty bad actually. I think it was like 70% now are unsubscribed with my audience. So please subscribe. I care about this case. I care about Kiely. I care about what outcome we get. I want to say a few other things, share with you guys. Like, for example, this TikTok here that is on Sammy Sam's TikTok account, it is not her and Nate. That is her and a friend of hers named Cody. I was misguided. I saw it posted, just a random YouTube channel on the TV, watched it, and I believed it was Nate. Well, it isn't. It's a boy named Cody. I found that out just by searching in the comments. So there's that. That's super important. Another thing that was brought up to me is that Nate is the one, his dad is a sheriff. Like, really? Nate's father is the sheriff? That's crazy. All right. This is that TikTok, right? That we all saw. This is it flipped around. This would make it proper because the way the camera does, it flips it. So you have to flip it back to get the right like angle, you know? So this car would have been on the right-hand side. There it is. I want to go and show you this actual video. Zav gave me permission. I always try to ask. She gave me permission to share it because we've been kind of working through this together. You guys probably saw me over on her panel, which I plan to go and visit again soon. But it's the same spot, in my opinion. Same exact location, which would point to this actually being Kiely's car. Now, here's the time. Let's see the date stamp. It was posted that night. So after midnight, about the time they were leaving. And this is in a moving vehicle. They are moving. They're leaving. Why are they leaving? Well, right before that, this took place. Hold on, and I will show you that photo. Hoping I have the zoomed in version on here to show. One moment. Here's our zoomed in version. You can now see a male with something in his arms, and it's like they're putting it inside of that vehicle. I was over on Crime Lines and Lies with Brooks, and I showed her the photos and was speaking to her about it, and that was what she said to me before we ever cleared this up to the point that you could see this guy. Because see here, you really cannot see him. We worked on this, and my brain, I spent so much time thinking about it and just looking into it. Here's the cleared up version that's from a far away. So you can see you can even see headlights on these people. It's from a vehicle. It could be the same vehicle that took that TikTok for what we know. And it was most likely just past this. And we can see the little silver image there. I believe that this is the same area. When you go back to Zav's video about where the party's at and where everything's at, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, you will. We've gotten so many photos from that party, and before we were told that they were not from that party, but they are. This banner, for example, somebody told me I needed to look into it further because it says some pretty explicit things on it. One person thought that it stated beer or whatever, $3 or free if you fight. Insanity. In this photo that I brought up, this is how I knew these were proper. The sanctuary. That's where they're at, the sanctuary. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't want to miss any of the things that I had to talk with you all about. I think I already listed our questions. Where did people hear that the family had hired SF Investigates? When did that first come out? I know that he was creeping around over on Zav Girl, going there and saying some really, really nasty things to try and discredit AWP, and they felt terrible about it. Let's see. I see 3 cars. July party pic there. That party picture was from the night of August the 5th and 6th. That was verified by the news, mainstream media. Let's see. You're welcome. So-and-so. I don't want to miss any of your comments, but yeah, guys, I want you to help me figure this out for the next stream. Where was it? When was it? What creator was it that this first came out? SF, inferring, making people believe kind of referencing to us, the viewers, that he was hired by the family and he was their private investigator. When did that begin? Where did people hear that the content creator was actually a private investigator in the first place? Because he isn't. He's just a normal person that wants to pretend like he's a private investigator. That's fine, but don't say you're something you're not. Just say I'm a normal guy that investigates things, okay? Did he make those statements himself? Well, it would appear so. Did he make the inference that he had an education, licensing, or experience? It seems as if so, because he's called himself a private investigator when he is not. You actually have to get a license to do that. You actually need education and experience to do that. When did SF Investigates first begin to press the accident notion? Well, they did that as soon as AWP found her. Any way to discredit them. For what reason? I don't know. He told people that they didn't do this, they didn't do that, they didn't notify the family, and the father and the grandfather were on scene. I do feel that he caused the mother to feel negatively towards AWP somehow, and he done that for his own gain. Why does he resent AWP so much? Well, it's monetary gain. It's the clout, the recognition, the heroship, all of that. The reward. He would have took that reward, I bet you, in my opinion. Has he lied to Kylie's family about AWP and Kylie's car in this entire case? I believe so. The other day he was on there making statements, giving out information, saying that Sammy did nothing, that Jagger did nothing, that AWP, blah, 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 and trying to fight with them. It's ignorant. Stop it. Has SF been setting the stage, making comments to family to turn them against AWP so he can then make it seem that the family chose him over AWP? Like the family's backing SF Investigates, even though AWP are the ones that found the family or found Kiely. It's insane. Like, these are questions that need answered. I've been working on answering them. We've answered a few. But this man, he's not professional. He's not an investigator. Do I appreciate what he's done? The positive things he's done? Absolutely. But he has created another spectacle that makes Kylie's case look like, a circus. And that's unfair to Kiely. Kiely should be the only thing you are thinking about. That should be the reason you're doing this. You should not be doing this if there is any other reason for it. You should have to care about the case and be absolutely addicted to finding the truth. That is what it takes to do this without being an absolute piece of scum. Okay. I remember him maybe 2 weeks after Kiely disappeared. See, that's probably about the time that he started being mentioned on my streams. And in my information, the videos that were recommended for me. SF has said that he is not employed by anyone. He says that he's working pro bono. Right, but he is claiming that he is a private investigator when he is not. He is not a private investigator. And no, of course he doesn't work for anyone because they won't hire him because he has no experience, education, or licensing. He is not fit to be an investigator. That's why he's doing it the way he is. But he's claiming that he is a private investigator when he isn't. It's insane. He was on a live stream and stated that. I think he's a handler there. He put out misinformation. I do too, Kirks. He is a grifter that is putting out misinformation and changing the narrative. He has an agenda. What is his agenda? What is Ryan Upchurch's agenda? Maybe Ryan Upchurch's agenda is exactly what it sounds like. His new album, a girl named Kiely, who's actually named Callie. Freaking ridiculous. Let's see. He was on a live stream and stated, I think, that he's a handler. See, I hope Sammy's family didn't get him involved somehow. Somebody said that they look like one another. It seems like all of these people are in relation or something. Let's see. There is no record shows online. He isn't a PI. He isn't. He just isn't. And he has inferred that. In my opinion, I would guarantee you could find him somewhere stating that he is that when he is not. He has totally inserted himself into this family's life to the point where they said, please just leave us alone and stop talking about Kiely. So he had to stop talking about her. He's not supposed to continue because it's harassment and he's putting out misinformation, making people believe that he's more important than what he is. And it's just sick. Yeah. Let's read a few more comments before we close down for the night. He wants a book deal. Let's see. Yeah, that's his motive. He has a motive. He has an agenda. They all do, and it's ridiculous. Like the 3 men today arguing. Please get yourselves aligned back with what we are trying to do here. Stop it with the drama and the fighting for attention and more views. It's ignorant. And if you're actually going after one of those creators or like treating them terribly and trying to ruin their life, please stop. That's just ridiculous. It's enough. There's only one person that I know that put out like crazy stories and made a spectacle of this, like in the way that they did. And whatever you get for that, whatever punishment you get, it's deserved. So the stickers on Kylie's laptop are all fashion labels. SF just happens to be a fashion photographer. Well, Danny Duncan is the one who owns the brand Virginity Rocks. He does like 6ix9ine on everything. He's a pretty crazy out there guy. Like he does funny prank stuff, just funny content. All of those stickers can lead you to understand who Kiely is in a way. It can give you part of her personality, along with the way she acts, she dresses, she wears her clothing. That's another thing I think is very important that we gather information on. Who was Kiely? Like, who was she? You know, we need to know a lot about her. We need to understand her. We need to figure those things out. Can you play memorial video? I sent you an email. I will have to do that next stream because I have to send it over to my computer, and well, the connection is not great tonight, even though I do have really wonderful internet. Sometimes things interfere. I will play it the next time, Just Mike. Jasmine, on the Glares Today show, a post was shown of the grandpa of Kiely, which was sent to the Glare up on Upchurch fans bothering them, and I believe nothing bad about SF investigation. Jasmina, I appreciate your opinion. However, I think that what SF Investigates is doing is absolutely disgusting, and I wish he would stop, which I guess he's supposed to because the family has recommended that he does. That would be like me coming on here. You know, I could probably MILF Patrol is a porn meme. Kiely had a healthy humor like most. Yeah, it seems as though she did. She had a lot of humor. She was funny, like she was, outgoing. You can gather all of that from the information on her computer even. People were saying that MILF Patrol sticker, that there was one on her memorial as well, and that was like that meant something. I didn't really go too far into that because I try not to dive down the weird rabbit holes. I just look at the information separately, and then I bring it together once I have found everything that I possibly can. And I'm doing that with you guys. I feel that together, all of us with AWP's information, that we will eventually get the truth, and there'll be no way they can hide it. That is my goal, to find the truth, no matter what it is. If it's not the same as what I have said, that's fine. I mean, I have seen people go crazy when their theories are proven wrong. Like, for example, Ryan Upchurch, when his theory about Icked Mail and all that broke loose. But then now, I mean, before he started all that crazy stuff that she wasn't real, he was on to something weird, it seemed. Not Icked Mail. I think Icked Mail is just the creator that these people are absolutely obsessed with, and where they got their, insane vibe to start creating their own content, I guess you could say. And they probably were fans of his. But they live out in that area, and it is pretty strange that they would take out, that Xana May took that part out of her video. I would like to be able to speak with her again and just ask her that question, not in a disrespectful way, but that needs to be clarified because people feel that that's a really important part of this. I respect her. I'm thankful. I've apologized. She's accepted. But still, that's something that needs to be explained because her explanation was that she didn't want to hurt the family. But now she's re-uploaded that very video. Only she's redacted one certain part, which is the map on her phone where she was at, Caltopia. So we will finish our discussion. I'll let you guys know. Watch my community posts. And I sometimes put out like little short videos, let you guys know before I go live. We may go live tomorrow. It just depends. Most likely not, actually, now that I think about it, because tomorrow we have so much going on, cheerleading, everything. But I will do my best for you guys and for Kiely. Ryan has gone off the rails. Very strange thing if you ever decide to go do a deep dive. I was thinking about doing a video just about what he's doing, how he's acting, and put it all together for TMZ and for some other, mainstream journalism type places. NBC, for example, Taylor Lorenz. Just putting like all of it together and what he's done and how he's harassed people and how he's used his platform for absolute terrible things, how he uses people like they're just stupid puppets, and he literally wants a dumbed down like following. That's what he has tried to gain, and it's almost became a cult because of that. And it's reckless. It's super reckless. Let's see, what email can we send a message to Britt? Up in the comments that my email was put in, you should be able to find it pretty easily. It's the proton.me email address. It's just up in the comments. So after this, you should be able to find it easily. I love you guys so much. I never planned for this to be a 3-hour live stream. I hope that you guys have gained information, maybe have a clearer view on things. I hope that SF Investigates hears my message and will come on to an interview with me. If he doesn't want to do an interview, then I just hope that he stops harassing the family and making things up because his ego's hurt, just like law enforcement's was. This is not a game. You are not the focus. The focus is Kiely. Kiely May Rodni. Kiely Rodni. She is the focus, all right? Don't forget it. But yeah, love you guys. Have a great night. Stay safe. Take time to breathe and do something you enjoy. And also say your prayers tonight. Just keep a clear mind. And yeah, think about your mental health. I love you guys very much. Have a wonderful night. We will talk soon. I'm just going to play you a little music as we, wind down. And there it is. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like the video. If you have any thoughts, make sure you leave them in the comments. Share this video with somebody. Let's get this information out there. People need to know who they're watching, and people need to know the facts of what's really going on. They don't need to see these TikToks that are fake. They're not the right people. They're misinformation. We need to make sure that everything we put out is exact, factual, and just spread the word. Justice for Kiely. I love you guys. Again, make sure you're subscribed and you have your notifications on. I'll be posting in the community board for the next live. And also I'll post like pieces of information and evidence. I love you guys. Send me anything you'd like to the email and I will try to include it in the next stream. Have a good night. Toodles.